No, it's the offspring because, like I was saying earlier.
Wait, Beavis and Butthead have offspring?
No. The track for Green Forest from Sonic Adventure 2 is literally just the offspring song Americana like pitch shifted. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh fuck! We have a lecture?
All of your music tastes are fucking shit.
No!
Fuck the Offspring. Fuck
What about
Green Day.
what
Fuck
about
Panic at the Disco?
What about Animated Gucci?
No.
Owl City?
Nope.
Jackson.
All of it is fucking trash.
Becky Nagaduma.
You know why?
I chime in with
Tyler, I need a marker and I forgot about that.
Cut.
No, wait, no. He has to hold his hand out and with the marker manifest.
It's too late.
He's already manifested it. What the fuck?
I just want to put a disclaimer, by the way, that I actually don't think that. I think your guys' music tastes are fine. It's whatever. But
Do you like Animated
It's too
Gucci?
late. They're already
it's
typing in the
fine.
comments.
It's fine. Yeah, they're already typing, but it's whatever. Fuck you guys.
I grew up in 2000.
Anyways,
I love the Beatles.
today we're gonna be talking about my superior music taste. That shit.
Deep
Sleep
token.
token?
Yeah.
Woo!
Sleep token.
Yeah.
Oh god, where do I start? First off, I did this all out of order. I had a whole thing planned out, and I just fuck it. I'm wearing a sleep token shirt. That's why I have the fucking. Let's fucking go! Woo! Fuck me. Okay. Good soup. Oh, it's hot in here. Okay, so what is that? Sleep Token is a band, kind of ish. I don't fucking know. They are a collective of a collective of musicians that make music. It's hard to tell how many people are in it. It's hard to tell who is in it at all because they completely keep themselves anonymous. The amount of people on stage change, like, kind of.
Do they show their faces
time.
on stage or is it like
No,
masks?
they all wear masks, they all wear robes and shit, and their entire existence is dedicated to worshiping a god known as sleep. Which is why they're a sleep token, because they're a token to sleep. That's why they call it that.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I'm talking about it.
Hell yeah.
So, basically, the actual band itself, if you look at like the album liner notes for like their music, there are actually only two people in the band. They are called vessels. One is typically just referred to as vessel. The other one is typically referred to as drummer guy. So basically, these two dudes, one guy does vocals, lyrics, guitar, bass, synth, keyboard, basically fucking everything. The other guy does drums, percussion, electronic percussion, shit like that. And they make the actual music. And then when they play live, they have the lead guy, the lead vessel. He just sings and occasionally does like piano or guitar. And then they have a guitarist, a bassist, and a keyboardist that join them live. Who's the guy?
The sleep token.
This is Vessel, the actual, like the main Vessel. This is him. This is his unique mask that he wears on stage. He actually this is one he wears in music videos. The actual stage mask that he wears has a, what's the word? It has it's cut out so that his mouth comes through, so when he's singing, you can actually like fucking hear him. But yeah, so there's that version of the mask, there's the mouth version, and yeah. But the whole point, they also cover their skin in like black paint. So there's a lot of people who like erroneously believe that they're all like African American. They're not. But so they are British actually.
Gross.
As far as
British.
at least the singer and the drummer we know come from Britain land.
Slave token.
They might be one of the good
Sleep
ones, though.
token.
You gotta give them credit.
So-
My favorite British.
So yeah, the whole concept basically, you get it. It's this band that dedicates themselves to worshiping this deity. Pretty much all of their music is about worshiping this deity. They post the word worship at the end of like all of their social media posts, that sort of thing. It's really cool. It's like if like you wanted to be a part of a religion, but you said fuck God and you went to sleep instead, because that's cooler. The internet said so.
Sleep is fucking really sick, though. I like sleep.
Yeah. We also don't know what he looks like, and also his actual name is in Sleep, but his actual name is incomprehensible to the human ear.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah!
yeah, so we just call him Sleep because
Y'all are gonna resurrect one of the old ones.
yeah. So I think it's funny I've been talking this long and I haven't even talked about the actual music yet. So the music is weird. The thing about Sleep Token is that when you go into one of their releases, you have no fucking idea what you're gonna get. You have a general, like, they do this thing where it's kind of like they have so many different sounds going on throughout their music, but at the same time, they also have, like, they switch genres consistently throughout their music, like, to the point where you listen to them and you're like, this is Sleep Token, but at the same time, you're like, I don't know what the fuck genre to call this.
Like Tally Hall.
I guess.
Yeah.
I actually looked that up. I forgot what it was already, but I looked it up. Isn't it like...
They used to call it wonky rock, and then they started calling it Fablu because people were trying to define what wonky meant.
Define what wonky meant. Okay. But so, if I had to describe their sound, they kind of drift between genres, like, within a song. They don't really fuse anything together necessarily, but they kind of drift. Like 1 second of the song is like this, and then another part is this.
Can you give an example?
I don't want to spoil it, because see, the whole thing is that this lecture, I'm going to literally go through their entire discography.
Okay, so
song.
point out an example when it comes up.
Okay, yeah, but basically, like, imagine you're listening to, like, an ambient song that is, like, silent, like, it's, like, quiet, like, almost like a cappella in a sense, with just vocals and, like, maybe synths, and throughout the song, it'll build up and add more and more layers, like a synth line here, a guitar here, bass here, drums here, blah, 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 blah. Until basically what they do is towards the end or at certain parts they just fucking explode. Like, it's basically every song is like this constant build up into something, usually like a really cool guitar riff, or my personal favorite, chuggy wuggy gent breakdowns.
What is a chuggy wuggy went break?
Oh god, none of you listen to metalcore.
No, what's a chuggy
I listen
wuggy?
to metalcore.
So, do you guys know what palm muting is? Are you familiar with that concept? What palm muting is? So it's a technique that you do on guitars where you basically rest your hand on the strings to mute the sound, and instead of it being like dun, it's dun. So this is why it's referred to as chugging, because when you do it, it's, say you're playing like a riff and it's like dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's like that. But imagine that, but the guitar tone is tuned down to like really fucking low for no goddamn reason. And so every riff is like, it's like the tone is like abyssal, which it actually has some context later on. Yeah, the guitar tone is super low tuned, and they have a lot of chugging parts, a lot of like really heavy like riffs, very simple riffs, but like they're fucking cool. Like, you don't need to be complicated to be fucking, you don't need to be complicated to make good music. Fuck you, elitists. Okay. Anyways,
I only listen to classical.
and that's fine. I'm just saying, like, music does not need to be complicated to be fucking, like, not everything has to be some kind of prog masterpiece. You don't have to, like, listen to nothing but Opeth and Pink Floyd to be, like, cool.
Muse fans.
Yeah, or I actually am a Muse fan, by the way. Anyways, so, fucking, where was I? But yeah, so, they kind of drift between, like, this, like, ambient sound, or, like, this, like, kind of, almost like dark pop sound, and then they juxtapose it with, like, alt rock, or, like gent, which is what I was talking about with the fucking low notes and shit, where it's like super low tune and it's like it's like super groovy and shit. Like, you may as well not need a guitarist, just have two bassists. But so, yeah, that's kind of like what their sound like is. It's changed a little bit throughout the years that they've been around, but we'll talk about that. So they formed in 2016, and by the way, we still don't know who these motherfuckers are. Like, there's like some shit, like, you can go online and find fucking anything where people are like, oh, it's this guy, blah, 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 but, you know, none of it's, like, confirmed or anything, and none of it, in my opinion, is really, like, what's the word, like, evidential of who it is. Like, it's all just kind of like, oh, it might be this guy, because they sound kind of similar, but, like, you never fucking know. But so...
It could be you.
It could be me, I'm Vessel. I wish I made Sleep Token music, shit, oh my god. So, yeah, so they form in 2016, which is crazy, because that's actually, like, the year that I got into, like, alternative and, like, rock and, like, metal music and shit. So, like...
It was just a really weird year in general.
Yeah, like, 2015 and 2016 was where I got into it, and, like, I really wish I had known about Sleep Token just from the get-go, so my life wouldn't be, you know how, like, people say when they take LSD, they, like, wake up?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like, I wish I had woken up earlier instead of now. My eyes are open. But, so they formed in 2016, and they release a single called "Thread the Needle" with an accompanying music video. So this is kind of like what I was talking about. "Thread the Needle" literally starts off with if you give me a second, I'm going to pull up something on my phone. "Thread the Needle" starts off literally like with nothing. Like the song itself, you have these very quiet like falsetto vocals. I should also mention the vocal style of Vessel is very like R&B inspired kind of. He has a fucking heavy British accent, like heavy, thick, like Bastille or like Sam Smith or like Hosier, if any of you guys know what those names are. Similar to that. Imagine that juxtaposed with like ambient and like fucking metal music. It's a really tonal thing. It's really weird, but like it's surprisingly good and it fits really well. Because a lot of their music is like super emotionally charged. Like that's the whole point. Is like you're listening to it and it makes you want to like cry or like some shit like that. Like all of their music does that. And so, me when I open my browser history and it's fucking Honey Pop. Anyways. Wait, I have the fucking tab here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Can't play Honey Pop mid-lecture.
God, I'm sorry.
Honey Pop lecture, what?
Honey Pop. Anyways. So, it starts off with like his very quiet, like very soft falsetto vocals over top of these like really quiet synth lines. No drums, no guitars, no fucking nothing. It is like silent. It's literally like an ambient track. And it slowly builds up and there's like piano that's added and some sound effects and it just slowly builds up. Oh, by the way, this track is like 5 minutes long and it builds up until out of fucking nowhere you hear like, you know the reverse cymbal thing that people do where they like, it's like, yeah, that happens and literally it just fucking explodes into like a metal breakdown, like out of fucking nowhere, like goes from 0 to 100 real quick. And it's really cool. It's a really good song that you would see like people react to because they listen to it and they're like, "Oh, it's so pretty, wow!" And then that happens and they're fucking like moshing in the room and shit, like killing people, like because it's like dun 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 dun, like it's heavy as fuck. I remember the first time I listened to it and it was fucking crazy. But so, yeah, that's kind of the general sound, the gist of it. Breakdown goes on for a little while and then it kind of gets quiet again, and then it comes back to this kind of like, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like a really like wall of sound kind of riff where it's like really loud and it's kind of hard to pick out the individual notes of the riff, but it's like it's very like ambient, like softer kind of sound. It's not super heavy. And then it cuts off again with the guitar feedback noise and then it just fucking explodes again into another breakdown. But this time, they're doing the gen thing. So the gen thing is where, so you know how I was talking about the chuggy wuggies?
Yeah.
So imagine that, but you're putting even less effort into it by not palm muting. So you just dun 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 dun. You're just hitting the top string with your pick, and it makes noise, and it sounds cool because you're fucking like drop A tuning, and it sounds like the fucking abyss like is like encroaching on you as a guitar riff, and it doesn't even matter that they're literally playing the same note over and over again because it's sick. It's top. It's good. Dun dun. But so yeah. And there's some really cool like siren type synths in the background like during this thing, and it makes me want to like punch a hole in my wall.
Hell yeah.
And create a black hole, like Stan bullshit, like create a black hole in my room, like
Cream type.
yeah, cream type beat, yeah. So, shit's sick. There's also an accompanying music video. It's kind of weird. It's basically like these really like, it's like juxtaposed images, like that it flashes between where it's like pictures of Vessel and like other people in like robes and like candles and shit. There's not really like a concrete story behind it, but I'm assuming the way it's supposed to be portrayed that it's like Vessel gathering people to like worship sleep, kind of. Like, I don't know. There's not really like a concrete story to it. It's a really weird music video, but yeah. That's kind of just the way I interpret it. Hang on, fuck me. I was gonna read lyrics, just like a couple lyrics from that song, but here we go. Yeah, Thread the Needle. Yeah, it literally opens with and I should mention that most of these songs, like, you can kind of interpret that. The really cool thing about Sleep Token is that the whole concept behind it is that you can interpret them in any way you want, and you can, basically the whole idea behind it is worship. Like, worshiping any sort of thing, like someone you love, something that you love, like anything in your life can be worshipped and kind of represent what sleep is. But this is just the way it's interpreted in this context, but you can literally look at it any way you want. Like romantically, hatefully, any kind of way you want. And so, I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah. But basically, the opening lyric says, "Bury me inside this labyrinth bed. We can feel that time is dilated." Basically, the whole context behind this is that Vessel himself, I can't believe I forgot to explain this. Vessel has a backstory.
Oh, what?
And it's kind of like very distantly like explained throughout the songs. But the backstory that they give to you, like in song, not in song form, but like the bios on other websites and shit, it's like that Vessel is like perpetually tormented by sleep in a way. And the way that it's explained through the songs, it's very like it's a toxic relationship in a sense, because Vessel's like real life sucks ass basically, and so he goes to sleep because the only place that you can actually reach sleep is when you are asleep. Sleep itself, like the deity, is kind of the same thing as like the act of sleeping essentially. So he goes to sleep to essentially interact with this deity, and it juxtaposes images of like happiness and things that will make Vessel happy, and it lures him in with these things, but then it also shows him like nightmares and terrible things that he hates to see, like things that like literally traumatize him, and he can't get rid of. Yes.
So the whole sleep thing is why his arms are crossed in the picture, right? Because it's like,
Sure.
yeah.
I guess, yeah, that's cool. I never thought about that. That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, also, fun fact, like, the thing on his mask is, like, a carving for, like, you know how I said, like, it's indecipherable from the human ear, like, you can't pronounce, his, like, Sleep's actual name? Yeah, that's the symbolism that makes his name. It stands for the letters ST, like, sleep token, yeah.
You know, we just started this lecture, and already it's just gorillas, but better.
Oh, I don't even fucking know anything about gorillas.
There are also, like, two people who fucking just make all.
I know that it's like real people. Like,
yeah, but Gorillas lore is crazy. Gorillas lore.
There's Gorillas lore.
Dude, there's so much Gorillas lore.
Oh, dude.
All I remember is the pickle guy drowned in the sewers.
No. Like I remember, like
This is a sleep token lecture. Let's continue.
Okay. Now I gotta fucking read about gorillas. Jesus Christ. So, where was I?
He's getting tormented by sleep, right?
Yeah, so yeah, basically, like, sleep kind of lures him in every night and shows him good things, but then also shows him bad things, essentially. So, it's this really toxic relationship that Vessel has with sleep. You can kind of look at Vessel as being like a proxy of sleep, essentially, because he worships him even though it is literally bad for his mental health, and he goes out and tells other people to worship him and try to lure them in too. So, Vessel is like a proxy for sleep, essentially. That's why he's called the Vessel, because he's a vessel for sleep.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
Because he's also a sleep token.
Yeah, well, the whole band is the token for sleep, essentially.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the people who aren't him and drummer guy are essentially implied to just be like the general worshippers. They get to come and play with them. So like in a sense, they're just implied to be like random fucking people that they were like, hey, can you read these tabs? Can you play with us tonight? That's like my headcanon.
And sleep granted them the ability to play it.
Essentially, yeah. But so, yeah, basically, the song itself is, the way I interpret this EP, by the way, the first EP is called, One, which, we're in the period of time before it came out, which, because it was released as a single. But One is, the way I interpret it, it's a 3-song EP. It's, if you don't know what an EP is, it's like a short album, basically. Like, an album is like 8 to like 15 or 16 songs long, an EP is like 3 to like 6 or 7. So it's a 3-song EP, and the way I interpret it is each song is about a different stage of sleeping, essentially. Thread the Needle is about going to sleep. The second track is about being asleep and dreaming, and the third one is about waking up, and I'll get into that. But so yeah, Thread the Needle is about going to sleep, and that's why he says bury him inside this labyrinth bed, because he's, he wants to he really wants to stay there eternally and sleep forever, and this is his act of going in. And when he's referencing the song, he says, we can spend the night in fascination, you can thread the needle time and time again. He's telling sleep, like, I give you full permission to do whatever the fuck you want with my brain. Merry Christmas. So, yeah. Basically, this whole song is about him going to sleep and letting sleep take over him, essentially. But yeah. So then the EP comes out. That's pretty cool, right? The second track on the EP is called Fields of Elation. Actually, to fucking like look up what this meant, because I was like, what the fuck does elation mean? Elation is the act of being elated, or like super unbelievably overjoyed about something, essentially. I don't know if that's the exact definition, but that's what it means.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah, happy. So essentially, this is the part where Vessel goes to sleep, and he is asleep, and he's dreaming, and sleep is giving him all these wonderful things that he's seeing that make him happy, and it's why he wants to go to sleep so much. The opening paragraph says, "The daylight proceeds in unison. This room buries the hours like death in motion. Nobody else can pull me out. The fields of elation, quiet and low me." So basically, I kind of interpret the fields of elation literally being a physical place within like this sleep realm, and it's literally like it's everything that Vessel has ever wanted laid out before him, and this sleep realm. I don't know what else to fucking call it. Dream. Thank you. This
Dreamscape.
Yeah, dreamscape. Yeah, it's like that. It's like everything he's ever wanted laid out before him, and everything that could possibly make him happy, and that's why it's called the Fields of Elation. So yeah, the whole song is basically like about like I totally forgot to mention, but like a lot of the stuff I'm talking about is totally just like theory, and like I said, you can interpret it any way you want. This is just personally the way I interpret it.
Dude, your interpretation is sick. Keep going.
Yeah. I think it is too. That's why I'm here. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, I'm not right. You can look at it however way you want. But so yeah. So this is, to me, like, this song is about him being asleep and shit. Sound-wise, this one isn't really as heavy. This is what I'm talking about. Is like a lot of people, like, this band got big in the metalcore scene specifically. So like you have like heavy metal fans and then hardcore fans juxtaposing together, and people are like, basically they hear a song like Thread the Needle and they're like, wow, cool breakdowns, awesome swag, and then, you know, they hear like something else in their discography that's like pop, and they're like, what the fuck, like why aren't they metal, why are you doing that, stop. So it's kind of unfortunate they got big in that scene, because you kind of get the shit a lot just because they don't fucking constantly play guitars all the time. But that's not the fucking point. The whole point is that they're supposed to play different music, and I'll get into that in fucking this part right here in a second. But so yeah, fuck genres, fuck conventional means, do whatever you want. Fuck God.
Fuck blue.
Fuck God. Worship sleep. Anyways, yeah, Fields of Elation. So this song is kind of like, it's a lot less heavy. It doesn't start off like soft like Thread the Needle did. It's more like a lot of their songs start off with like no drums or anything. Like, it's like really like simple to listen to. There's like some clean guitars, and it's really like ambient sounding, and Vessel showcases less of his falsetto range in this song and more of his like normal like voice. They were really young at this time, and you can actually hear his voice deepen over time. It's really kind of cool actually. But like in this beginning, he's a lot more like a what's the word, like higher, like tenor voice.
It's the toll sleep is taking on him.
You guys are like coming up with shit that I never thought about. That's cool. But so so where was I? Fields of Elation. Yeah. I forgot where.
Next stage of sleep.
Yeah, the next stage of sleep. So
Probably where the terror and evil comes in.
No, actually, it's actually not the way you would think it would happen. So the next track on the EP is called, I was talking about the composition of Fields of Elation. It kind of like slowly builds up again into like more of like a lot of their music is compared to Deftones. If any of you guys listen to Deftones, how they kind of have like that really like melodic, like it's called shoegaze. It's the genre.
Oh,
you know what shoegaze
yeah.
is? A lot of their music has like that kind of stylings where it's like heavy, loud guitars, but it's like more melodic, and it's like wall of soundy kind of thing, like Deftones. But this band takes Deftones and makes it heavier, kind of, and a little bit more like ambient at times. So this riff is kind of like what I like to call them, the Deftones riffs, because they're more like, they're not like djenty, they're more like melodic, kind of more like a regular rock riff. And he sings over it. It's really cool. And there is a breakdown after this where it's like dun 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 dun, and it's sexy. You know, it's sexy. It's kind of a simpler song. It was my favorite song when I first listened to the EP. Thread the Needle is my current favorite. I fucking love that song. But yeah. So the next song, the third and final song in the EP is called "When the Bow Breaks." What the fuck is a bow?
It's like the branch.
Thank you. He's smart. I like you.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of like a bow of a
No, just like the lullaby, like Rockabye Baby. That's how I imagined it, right? It's
Yeah.
like a baby on the tree branch.
I'm actually really glad you said something, Ed, because I actually forgot what that meant, and I was about to tell you guys something completely bullshit. So thanks for giving me the actual definition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a bough is essentially like the biggest branch on a tree. So this is when the bough breaks.
Oh.
So this song is essentially the act of waking up. Now, if you remember before, what I said is that Vessel's actual real life, like his real life outside of sleeping, is ass. Like it doesn't go into detail at all about like what happened, but basically like he goes to sleep on purpose to escape that, right? And in this is basically the pain of him waking up and having to be in like the real world again and missing sleep. Essentially, a lot of this is like a lot of their songs like kind of interpret his relationship with sleep. It sounds super romantic, and it kind of is a little bit. It's a little bit gross, but that's fine, because worship is a little bit intimate sometimes. It's how worshiping is. So it seems really romantic in a sense because he like really genuinely like misses sleep when he wakes up because he's like you're the only thing in my life that genuinely like makes me feel okay, and now you're like gone and I have to wait for you to come back again, and it's like I have to live in this miserable fucking place until I can go to sleep again. So yeah, that's what this song is about. And the opening, the couple of paragraphs say, "You could stay alive, just tell me that you notice, even in the dark, the way I left you breathing. Sometimes when we touch, everything we love resets. It's only just enough, even when we run with death." And then he says, "We could be released, flowing over sorrow days. We could stay suspended, even when the bow breaks." So, yeah. He's like kind of wishing that he could like hold on to sleep, even as it's being ripped away from him essentially as he's like waking up. So, yeah. I think also part of this song is this paragraph right here. He says, "Everything we touch turns water into blood. You try to look away from even when the bow breaks. You don't really love, you just hate to be alone." And I think this is like a very partial glimpse into what we're going to get into later is sleep is not like benevolent towards Vessel. He is 100% showing these good things to him because he wants to lure him in to make him his proxy, to get him to worship other people. And so this is like a glimpse into how Vessel kind of views sleep as being a selfish deity, essentially, because sleep doesn't actually think Vessel is special in any capacity. He just wants him for his own gain and his own purposes. Yeah, it's free real estate, and this motherfucker likes sleeping, so oh cool, okay. Like, that's kind of the way I interpret it, basically, is like he misses sleep, but he also realizes like what he does to him and what he's really there for, and like he knows that he is just a proxy, but he can't do anything about it because he loves it. It's like an addiction, essentially. Like, he knows he shouldn't be doing this to himself, but he can't stop because he loves it so much.
Like League players.
Sure. League like should win. But yeah. So yeah, that's the first EP1. Did I miss anything? I'm not sure when this music video came out, but it came out that year. It's a music video for the second track, Fields of Elation. It's not really a music video. It's more of like a visualizer, but it's the same kind of thing as Thread the Needle, but instead of it being super dark, it's like super light, and it's like black and white images of like houses and towns and shit like that, and it kind of like flashes between them and shit. There's not really any story conveyed. I guess in a way it's trying to be like, oh, look, these are the Fields of Elation, wow. And like I guess it's like supposed to show like, oh, this is what Vessel is seeing. Like, this is his perfect utopia, essentially. But I don't know if that's actually what it means. It could just be a fucking slideshow, for all I know. But, that's just a theory. Thanks for watching. But yeah. So...
Cut. Go.
So yeah. So that's... We're done with 2016 now. We're on 2017 now. Yeah. So, this year, they released a song called Calcutta. No. Oh, fuck. So, if you don't know what Calcutta is I forget exactly like the exact like what its importance, like where it is, like city wise, but it's essentially a city in India. It's actually the former name of the city. The city is now called Calcutta. They changed it to like better reflect the actual like pronunciation of the name essentially. But this was its former name, Calcutta. And I don't know what. So basically, they released this EP this year called 2. It's the second EP that they released. Yeah, aptly named, isn't it? And the whole concept with this EP is that each song is named after a different like city in the Middle East. So we have Calcutta, which is the Indian city. We have the second song is called Nazareth, which is in Israel, and it's the city where Jesus was born. Tyler,
yep.
Right? Okay, yeah. And then the third song is called Jericho.
Born in Bethlehem, but from the Nazareth clan.
And then the third song in the EP is called Jericho, which is a city in Palestine.
Yeah, let's go, Jericho.
And I think that's also something from the Bible.
Yeah, the giant wall that they tore down by.
Yeah, I don't actually know the Bible. I just know that it's from the Bible. But so yeah, that's the whole concept of this EP. I have no fucking idea like how that connects to the songs at all. Someone in the comments can figure that out for me. Thanks, love you. But so this first song is called Calcutta, and it starts off like most Sleep Token songs do. Has like a synth line going on, Vessel doing his whole thing, you know. And I gotta get the fucking, where's my phone? Basically, you know, it just does what. And there's nothing really too unique about this one. Not that it's bad. It's a great song, but. It's like slowly builds up. I will say, from this EP going onward, the first EP, the one EP was like very like, the songs didn't really have like a lot of structure to them. They were very like free form, like they just kind of, like, they were very proggy in a sense. They were very free form, they didn't really have like structure to them. They just like did whatever. From this EP onward, they started like using more like poppy song structure, like verse, chorus, verse kind of thing. Making it sound like a little bit more palatable, I guess. I'm not sure if it was intentional, it's just how it happened. But from this point going forward, their songs are a lot less, like, a lot more conventional, essentially.
How well did that first album sell before they started sounding more conventional?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But they didn't really get super big until they put out their first album, if that's any consolation.
Gotcha.
And even then, they're still not that very big. They have, I think, 300,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. So they're big enough in the scene that they're currently a part of, but... As for like, in terms of like actual, like that, they're not like big at all. But they are playing festivals, so hopefully it goes somewhere. Also, found out the other day that one of the songs off their new album is, got used as the walk-in music for a wrestler.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, I fucking cried. I was so happy. But, so maybe slowly we're seeing them like take over the music scene, maybe. I hope that's what happens.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sleep Token Lord.
Worship!
I mean, they're technically up there with like Undertale now, because like Megalovania was walking music at one point.
What?
Really funny.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, like the guy dressed up as like.
I would argue that Undertale is more well known though than like.
I know, but it's like up there, and like a wrestler is like, hey, I want to use this. But yeah, so. God, what the fuck? This song is. Oh, that's nice. My fucking. Oh, never mind. I thought my tab on the browser got eliminated. Yeah. So we're at this EP now. Calcutta is like, the song itself. It just. But yeah, they're a lot more conventional, a lot more poppy now. Not in the sense that their music isn't like unique. Like it still sounds very unique. It's very like fun to listen to. Very like different. It's just not the structure is a lot more like poppy sounding, a lot more palatable, if you will. So. Yeah, it builds up. There's choruses, really cool. I really love Vessel's falsetto vocals. This dude knows how to sing well. Like, it's kind of wild. He has this like really like soft, like kind of like voice, and and he can go really high. Like, it's really surprising. But yeah, and it juxtaposes really well with his normal voice, which is like super low. It's like a baritone voice, and then he's like high. It's really sexy. So yeah, slowly builds up. There's a guitar part, and then it goes quiet again, and then there's not really a breakdown, but like there's this really cool like riff where it's like, I don't know, it does things. But it's like a gent riff. It's like super low tune kind of thing. But it's really cool about that part. My favorite thing, I actually just noticed this the other day too, is it's this really heavy riff. And what I like about their music is that they a lot of times they'll juxtapose like the heavy with like the softer kind of vibes too, like at the same time. And so they have this super heavy riff, and in the background, if you listen carefully, you can hear Vessel like going, like doing like fucking like power metal vocals, like in the background, like super fucking high, like this like heavy as fuck riff. I came when I had to listen to it a couple times to realize it was there, but like at first I thought it was like a synth, but then I was like, no, that's him. But it's really cool. So lyric wise, the opening one for this, the opening paragraph says, I am caught, tangled in, wrapped and quartered, tripping up and over, time lived again for just a moment, missing pieces find me. So this one's a little bit confusing, but I think this is kind of like, this song kind of chronicles, and the music video too, which I'll talk about in a sec, kind of chronicles like the birth of sleep. Like, not literally like his birth, but like his... Alright, so this song is Calcutta. This song is about, essentially, in the music video too, essentially talk about the birth of sleep. Not the literal coming out the womb birth, but the transitioning from being a normal ass dude who really likes sleeping to vessel. Or sleep's proxy, if you will, like becoming a proxy for sleep. And transitioning into this new lifestyle of his.
Of just sleeping.
Yeah, like really.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, again, I don't know like the connection between the Indian city and like the song itself, but I'm sure there's something that I would assume that it has to do with something. But so excuse me. So like I said, wait, did I already read the lyrics before we cut? I think I did.
So.
No.
Okay, well, I'll read them again and we'll edit it out later. The opening paragraph says, I am caught, tangled in, wrapped and quartered, tripping up and over, time lived again for just a moment, missing pieces find me. So,
Oh shit.
hi!
Hi.
Welcome to the slaughter.
Thank you.
I feel like this is the third time you just entered in the middle of a lecture.
Yeah, I'm a busy person.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
He then proceeds to
Oh,
say,
I know. Thank you.
Yeah, I
you don't
know.
even
Yeah. And yeah.
know.
Did how many of you fell on it?
Me.
Yeah.
Fell is a very
Like,
unique way to describe what happened.
Yeah, it's exciting because I forget about it all the time
You
too.
knocked over the entire thing of that. Yeah, it fell into the wall. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Tyler didn't warn you.
It's for the lecture.
Tyler's fault.
It's for the
Yes.
funny. But so he then proceeds to say, I sweat and I
Oh my
ache
God.
for your eyes and the way you breathe, and I wake saying your name.
I will pay for
Plant.
my plants.
No, it's okay.
Vessel doesn't say that. But so yeah, this whole thing is like his birth and like him like connecting with sleep, and he, like he said, he says, I wake saying your name, and it talks about how, you know, again, like how when he wakes up, he like hates waking up because he misses sleep and all that.
Pardon me. Sorry.
Damn.
My bad.
So, yeah, this song, like I said, it talks about like the birth of sleep and his first connections with sleep and stuff like that. You are more than warm belief, melting skywards, more than silence broken. I'm whole again for just a moment till the morning comes. So he's whole again till the morning comes, and then he's like, you know, fuck, and now I'm awake, god damn it. Yeah, that sort of thing. So yeah, sorry, my back is itchy.
He's like a bear.
But yeah, very simple stuff. You'll see a lot of the same themes kind of repeated throughout their lyrics, just in like different ways. But yeah, so this one is essentially chronicles his birth, and the music video itself shows Vessel unmasked. It doesn't show his whole face though. It kind of zooms into his mouth and like shows him like talking. And it like it kind of flips between that and like other images and like the other band members like playing the guitar parts and stuff like that. It shows him with a fucking guitar like rocking out. Shit comes. Yeah. So yeah, I think it shows him like unmasked to kind of show like this was like what he looked like essentially before he was turned into that.
So like Dream.
Yeah. But with
That's what.
oh well, Dream has lore. I forgot about that. Watch the Dream SMP lecture.
Yeah.
That's what the
Watch the Dream SMP
That's
lecture.
the point of the mask.
But yeah,
We're
so
talking about
that's
good music.
that's yeah, fuck you. So yeah, that's Calcutta. I'm really fucking itchy.
Do you need someone to just stay behind you and
It
come?
was my personal background. You're not gonna do it good enough. Sit down. Anyway, so before I talk about the rest of this EP, he's actually really good at this. There is so
there has only ever been, like shortly after this song came out, there has only ever been one interview done with Sleep Token. Now, what's interesting about this is that I say Sleep Token literally because it's never revealed who they're talking to in this interview. It is literally just whoever the fuck. It could be Vessel, it could be the drummer, it could be any of the worshippers. Literally, it's never said who they're talking to. It's just Sleep Token. So, I have it here, and I'm going to read it to you, because, yeah. Oh, it was done on laddersound.com. And it says, who are the mysterious figures known as Sleep Token? The anonymous collective known as Sleep Token... Oh, wait, actually, never mind, I don't give a fuck about any of this. But, so, the interview starts here, and he says, what is the story behind Sleep Token? And then, Sleep Token person says, how we got here is as irrelevant as who we are. What matters is the music and the message. We are here to serve Sleep and protect his message. Who is Sleep? How did an ancient deity find himself in the UK music scene? He is everywhere, at all times. Vessel encountered Sleep in a dream, with promise of glory and magnificence if Vessel followed him. The UK is old. Centuries of lore lay buried here. This land has power, if only you knew how to use it. What is the meaning behind the markings on your mask? It is an acronym of Sleep Token and reads as ST in ancient runes. Why do you all wish to remain anonymous? Our identities are unimportant. Music is marketed on who is or isn't in a band. It's pushed, prodded, and molded into something it isn't. Vessel endeavors to keep the focus on his offerings. Do you worry people will liken you to bands like Ghost? No. The only comparison that can be drawn with Ghost is our anonymity. Our verses are a token, crafted to magnify and embody the multitude of emotion that writhes in our subconscious. Sonically, our voice is rooted in the resonation between the notes and your emotion. Take our hand.
Sonic? That's fucking
Sonic?
deep.
Yeah.
Yo, Sonic Lecture when?
Oh my god, the whole fucking series. Your Facebook page proudly states, nothing lasts forever. Is Sleep Token a temporary vehicle for the persona known as Sleep? Life is fleeting, and this too shall pass. But for now, we praise him. What are your influences musically? As musicians, we are inspired by the human condition and a plethora of artists, but we are deeply moved by his words and continue to do our utmost to bring them to life. As followers, we are bound by a duty to combine our crafts to create music that conveys some of our most primal and powerful emotions. The song Calcutta is a bizarre mix of mainstream anthemic indie and tech metal. What on earth is going on here?
You said words, bro. What's techno?
Life is dark. Life is bright. Life is ugly. Life is beautiful. Don't get lost in genres. They'll only disorientate you. Music is for everyone.
Really? No one else? Just me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what I was saying earlier. Fuck genres. Worship. Do you think people will see Sleep Token as a gimmick and not pay attention to the music? The standard concept of gimmickry is none of our concern. We are here to deliver a message, touch people in their hearts and subconscious minds. Soon, regardless of cynicism, you will all be followers. You're making your live debut next month. What can we expect from Sleep Token in the live environment? Worship. What lies in the future for Sleep Token? Nothing lasts forever. And that's the end of the interview.
Like, did this interviewer have any clue what they were walking into?
I don't think they knew who they were talking to.
Alright, so we're gonna talk to Sleep Token right here. So,
just imagine-
what's with the mask there, buddy?
I just imagine them being like a fucking like church confessional booth, like, and they're just talking to him. I don't fucking know. But yeah, so that's the only interview that has ever been conducted with Sleep Token, and we don't even know who the fuck we were talking to. So
it was just some guy.
Yeah.
They aren't even associated with the band. They were just there.
Another proxy, if you will. So yeah, that's the only interview. It's pretty swag in my opinion. But yeah, shortly after that, like it said in the interview, they made their live debut like the month after. They played at a place in the UK. I think it was in London. I think I might be wrong about that. But yeah, they played their first show. I don't think there's any footage of it anywhere. You might be able to find it. I don't know. But yeah. So this was the year that they started playing live, which is pretty cool.
2016?
2017. 2016 was the year before when they formed.
Got it.
Yeah. Also, at this point in time, they only have 4 people that play live with them. You have Vessel, who comes and sings and like occasionally plays like keyboard. And they have a guitarist, a bassist, and then a drummer man. This changes in a little while. It gets really cool, I promise. But so yeah, they started playing live, and on top of this, they then released their second EP, 2. Aptly named, isn't it? So yeah, so we already talked about Calcutta. The second song is my personal favorite off the EP. It's called Nazareth. Like I said, the name of it's a city in Israel that
Jesus
was
of Nazareth.
it's from the Bible. So what the fuck? Oh, hang on, wrong tab. Sorry, we're gonna move over to back to the lyrics tab. But yeah, so we have Nazareth. This song is fucking cool. I love this song. It starts off soft like most Sleep Token songs do, with like synth lines and shit like that. And it opens up the lyrics, says, I'll see you when the wrath comes, knocking on your bedroom door with money, building you a kingdom, dripping from the open mouth. I'll show you what you look like from the inside, and I'll see you when the wrath comes around. So this is one of the few songs where instead of talking directly about sleep, this is actually an experience that I believe that Vessel had. The way I interpret the song is that essentially Vessel was in a relationship with someone, whether it was romantic or not is whatever. But basically this person didn't believe in sleep and didn't like fuck with the idea of worshiping this deity. And so this pisses Vessel off a lot. Like he gets really angry and he murders this person. Yeah. That's the way I interpret it. There's probably different ways you can look at it, but the reason why I look at it as a murder scene is because, and also the chorus says, tonight, 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 you have the answer. Which is a little bit ominous when you think about it, because the next fucking paragraph, the second verse, when the drums come in, and it's not really like rock yet, it's kind of just like really quiet still, he says, let's load the gun, make her eat the tape in the bathroom mirror, see if she can guess what a hollow point does to a naked body. Let's fuck her up, manifest pain at the core of pleasure, and I'll see you when the wrath comes around. So he fucking shoots this bitch. Yeah, a hollow point is a type of bullet, I believe.
Yeah.
So he shoots this fucking bitch.
I might be wrong on this because I'm not like a gun expert, but I believe hollow point rounds are supposed to be less lethal than like normal rounds. Oh no! I'm wrong.
No.
Hollow point rounds are used because like you can't just pull them out, so they're more lethal.
Because like the point of the fucking bullet is hollow, so when it goes into the body, it literally breaks.
It like shatters, so there's just bits all over you.
Yeah, so this shit's fucked. This is probably like the darkest set of lyrics in any Sleep Token song, just saying. Yeah, this shit's fucking wild.
Make her eat tape.
And then there's the part, make her eat the tape in the bathroom mirror. And then there's also the part in the bridge where it gets like the drums cut out and it like goes like kind of back into like it recesses into like a quieter part, and he repeats the phrase "let's load the gun" over and over again, and in the background you hear the vocals, "I won't be missing you, I won't be missing you." So yeah, he's like, fuck this bitch. Sleep, worship.
What did she do again?
She doesn't fuck with sleep. And thinks that Vessel's full of shit, so he's like, fuck you.
Non-believer.
Yeah, so shit's wild, yeah. This song also just fucks instrumentally, because right after that quiet bridge, you hear like the synth, like, you know how like when you're like, you can hear it, like, you dial like a thingy and it like makes it go, when it like cuts out, and if you were to like dial back up, it like comes back in. Yeah. What's it called? A crossfade. A crossfader, that's what it is. It's like that, and it's the synth slowly fades out, and then fucking explodes into this really cool fucking riff where it's like, actually, a lot of like, again, a lot of Sleep Token riffs are like really like simple, but it's like this really slow, like chugging riff, and interspersed with that is this really cool piano part. It is literally one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever listened to in my entire life. It makes me cry every time I hear it. Like, without fail, it makes me, like, emotional. Because, like, I don't know if they play it live like this, but, like, I imagine, like, fucking Vessel just, like, over this guitar part just going fucking ham on the piano at the same time. And it just makes me feel things. But yeah, and then like right after this song, fun fact, this song jump scares you. Because I remember the experience I had was I was listening to this EP for the first time and I was at work and I was sweeping. I work in a restaurant, by the way.
Yeah. Doxed. Now we know you work at restaurant.
There's like 4 Pappas locations in Maryland. I'm fucking safe, it's fine. So they fucking sweep. or I was sweeping. I don't know what the fuck we talking about. I was sweeping the restaurant like a night, right? And I was listening to this EP, and this end part came on where at the end of this really cool riff, it goes on for a while, and then it stops, and the riff and the drums go away, and it's just the piano part that keeps playing, and it's real quiet, and out of fucking nowhere, the guitars come back in with the fucking breakdown, and it scared the shit out of me, because it goes from being like really quiet to really loud out of nowhere, and it literally like made me jump out of my fucking skin, because it's like, da-da-da, da-da-da, like out of fucking nowhere. Spooky. But so yeah, this song fucks. I love Nazareth. It's literally so good. It's like one of the best songs in their discography, like hands down. Yeah, so I'm not sure if there's like a canon thing that happens with him killing this bitch, but you know, she's dead, so yeah. Worship or die. The next song is called Jericho. What is this one about? So again, this one is named after a city in Palestine, I believe. That's where it is. Yeah, this one's a little bit weird. So the song starts off with this like synthy piano part, and I'm shitting you not, it sounds like Animal Crossing music. Like I was listening to it for the first time, and like it kind of like it has this like it's like and it's like, oh, this is really peaceful, and then it's like and it's like, what? It was really like
so
jarring.
Like the 2 a.m. theme.
No, yeah, it's literally like the night music from Animal Crossing. It even has all like the pauses and shit in it. Like it was really like jarring going from the fucking to that to Animal Crossing music. So yeah, that was a whole ass experience listening to this EP. But like, so yeah, it's a really cool synth line. Sounds really weird, but I like it a lot. And then Vessel comes in and he's like all like breathy and like high. A lot of like he does like the Billie Eilish thing where he makes his singing like purposely breathy and like he does breathes a lot after he sings.
Like inhales and
and inhaling and shit. They keep all that shit in instead of editing it out because it makes it sound like more emotional, more cool. I fucking love that a lot. But yeah, so he comes in over this like really weird like synth, and then this like other kind of like chiptune-y synth starts playing in the background with like this like electronic kick. It almost kind of sounds like house music, like really slow house music, and then that kind of plays for a while. It tapers off, and then comes back for a little bit, and then the chorus. There's like a pre-chorus that comes in the second time, and this riff comes in. I should also mention the song is swung, which is like a jazz term. It's like where it's played. And is anybody familiar with music? You know what it means when you play like in triplets?
Yeah, I play Sonic.
So like if so like if you have a normal like 4/4 beat, right, and it's like if it's normal, it's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. A triplet beat would be like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So it's like it's just it makes it sound a little bit different. It's just a different way of like writing the beat, and that's what this song is like. It's swung, and it's fucking cool. Cause like the riff comes in, and it basically does this thing where they literally just play the note, and then it's silent for a little bit, and then they play another note, and it's silent for a little bit, and they kind of go back and forth between that, and they use that empty space in between the notes for Vessel to like sing, and normally like he sings like really softly, but in this song, this is the first time like a Sleep Token song where you hear him like really like get higher up in like his normal range, and he's like almost like yelling kind of, and it's really cool. I haven't even fucking read the lyrics yet. But yeah, the beginning, the like opening paragraph is kind of weird. He says, "Tread ancient water salt, like I sink down like precious stones. Until I wake, I dine on old encounters." And then the chorus says, "You taste like new flesh. You taste like new flesh. You taste like new flesh. Say my name again." So, I think this is like another one basically, where it's about him, like where he wakes up from sleep, and it kind of explains how during his waking hours when he's separated from sleep, he basically, it's until I wake. So when he's like asleep, he is basically being shown like things he's already seen before, and I think it's kind of like a way where it's like, even though he's being shown like the same things over and over again, they still feel new to him every time he like goes to sleep and sees them. So that's why he dines on old encounters, and that's why he says, "You taste like new flesh." He's not eating the girl, I promise. But yeah, he basically is saying like even though these are the same things I'm seeing over and over again, they still feel new and fresh to me every single time, and that's why he loves sleep so much, because it's like, whoa, this is fucking cool. He also says, "Swallow years beneath this bed," which is really He says, "There's something in the way you lay, enough to make the dead switch graves. You take your leave." So he's like comparing, like, he's like exclaiming, like, "Damn, this dude makes me feel wild. Holy shit." But yeah, holy fuck, there's a whole set of lyrics I haven't read before.
Jesus.
That's what. Yeah, I remember because I was reading this like a long time ago, and then I was like, "Oh yeah," I forgot that there's like a whole part at the end of the song. So, actually, I haven't read this, but it says, "My hands are not worthy," like, over and over again. He says, "My hands are not worthy," so. "Until I wake, I dine on old encounters." So, yeah, the whole song is just about, like, how he, like, misses sleep when he, like, wakes up and, you know, he loves sleep. So, yeah,
he hasn't fully devoted to full-time sleep yet?
I wouldn't say devoted yet. Yeah, I wouldn't say that he's devoted himself, but he fucking loves sleep. Like, a lot. Like, a lot.
That sleeps.
But at the same time, like I said before, when we were talking about when the bow breaks, he kind of also realizes that sleep is like a selfish deity. And we really get into that with the next album. So, that's the end of the... No. Because, yeah, they just kind of stopped that after this EP. I don't know. But, so, that's the end of the 2 EP. Again, I still don't know why it's named after, like, Middle Eastern cities. But that's cool. I fuck with it. And yeah, now we're gonna move on to 2018. They didn't really do anything besides, like, I mean, they toured, but I didn't really feel like writing that because they're just touring. It's whatever. Should I mention, like I said, they're from the UK, so they hadn't really left the UK yet. They're still just kind of doing stuff in the UK. They played Download Festival, which is a rock music festival, and that was pretty cool. That's pretty big for that. I'm pretty sure that was the first festival they played ever. So, yeah, but the only like musical thing they put out this year was a single song called Jaws. This isn't part of any other release. It is completely stand on by itself. And the lyrics are really different. Because once again, yeah, it's pretty cool. Because once again, it's another song that kind of doesn't really directly talk about sleep. Oh, fuck me. I gotta fucking... 1 second, please. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Okay. So, like I said, this song is called Jaws. Basically, it's... This one isn't really talking about sleep, I think. It's talking more about another relationship that Bessel has with someone. Like a real person. And it's kind of talking about, like, the toxicity of this relationship. Basically, like, this person that he's with is, like, very hurt, and he wants to, like, fix them. He says, the opening line is, "Stand under the stained glass and I will know it's you. The whites of your eyes burn from across the room. And I'm not here to be the savior you long for, only the one you don't. Are you watching me with eyes of a predator as you move towards the door?" So, he's basically, like, saying that even though he's here and he should be the one to help, like, kind of fix and, like, mend his partner's hurt, that he knows he can't do that, which is why he's the savior that they long for, but he's not the one that they don't want. It's really weird. But the chorus says, "Show me those pretty white jaws. Show me where the delicate stops. Show me what you've lost. Why you're always taking it slow. Show me what wounds you got. Show me love." So he's like, you know, you are fully allowed to just, like, not give yourself to me. Just, like, you can be vulnerable around me and show me all of the hurt that you feel. It also goes into the next track that they released after this, but, he says, "Oh, and I believe we are locked, caged, and always provoked by prey left unattended." And I don't really know what they mean by that. There's a lot of stuff that I, like, don't understand. It's kind of, like, hard to decipher some of this shit. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it, is that the song kind of talks about, like, a relationship where you want to help someone, but you have a hard time doing so. That's kind of the way I interpret it. But yeah, this is, like, yeah, they don't really talk about sleep in this one. Sound-wise, it's another song that kind of starts off with this, this, like, really cool, like, percussion sound, and then, it, like, there's, like, piano, and it's, like, it's really, like, soft. The really cool thing about this is that there's actually a synth line in this. It's really easy synth line where it's, like, do, 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 and that kind of, like, goes on, like, throughout parts of the song. This synth line is actually sampled in a later song that they put out. And I guess it's kind of like a subtle way of them saying, like, it's a little bit changed in the other one, but it's, like, connected. It shows that the songs are connected.
What song did they sample?
I'll talk about it. But so, yeah, it's important to know. We won't get to it till, like, way later, but yeah. So those two songs are connected. But that's Jaws. The song itself was really cool too, because this was the first song by Sleep Token that made me like, and again, they jump scare you a lot with a lot of the shit because of like, you just don't expect it. A lot of the song is really like softer pace. There's like a really cool like chuggy guitar riff like at one part, but where I think it's cool is at the end of the song where it's the last chorus and they repeat it a couple times and it builds up and then the drums cut out, and there's like this really cool like drum fill it does where it's like you hit the two toms and it's like dun 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 and it like builds up like that, and out of nowhere there's just a breakdown. And it's like a chuggier breakdown. It's like dun 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 dun, and it has the synth line playing in the background. It's really cool.
Getting on with those chuggy wuggies.
Yeah, with those chuggy wuggies. Dun 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 dun.
It's like they have the emotion like building up when it starts to go quiet, and all of a sudden they just
explode. And that's why I love Sleep Token, because it's actually a style of song that like people do to like when it's like that one song you hear on the album that's like the most emotional, the most sad. It's like, imagine if every song was that band's song. Like all of their music was that kind of song where it just builds up and explodes. I love it. It calms. Sleep Token. But yeah, so that's Jaws. It's a little bit of a weirder song, and like I said, it was standalone. And then I think that's So now we're moving on to 2019, and at the beginning of this year, the first thing they do is they release another single that is completely standalone by itself, called The Way That You Were. This is a really weird song, because up until this point, Sleep Token is pretty much solely known for being like, oh, that band that's really soft, and then they play metal breakdowns like out of nowhere. That's like their shtick. This turns that on its head by not playing metal breakdowns, and instead just being a piano ballad. So a lot of people got like scared when this first came out. I went and looked at like the comments. A lot of people got scared when this came out because they were like, "Oh my god, they got rid of the metal. What are we gonna do? Oh no, they're selling out."
Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy. So,
it would be so funny if Sleep Token sold out though.
Don't say that. A lot of people like, I don't really know how they would sell out because they already write like palatable kind of like pop music.
They just like lean into it.
They lean into the metal, and it's cool. It's funny because after this happened and people were worried about it, they actually wrote songs that were fucking heavier than anything they've written before. So it's like people didn't even have to worry about it. We'll get into that. But so this song is literally just like a very simple piano ballad. I'm gonna fucking pull up the lyrics real quick. I wish I had like I really wanted to like have like an entire notes thing of like lyrics, but I just didn't do that.
Dude, note takes forever to put together.
That you were lyrics.
don't they, Ed?
Yeah. Preparing for lectures, that's a lot of work. That's why I didn't do it. Yeah. So yeah, The Way That You Were, like I said, it's like a piano ballad, and this one kind of, it kind of talks about that. I don't know if it's the same relationship as Jaws, but this one also indirectly, it doesn't really talk about sleep at all. But this one, I think, thinking about it, this one kind of does touch upon the same person probably, where it's like talking about their hurt, because the whole song focuses on that person's hurt rather than their relationship itself. This song is about that partner and their trauma personally, and how Vessel wants them to make themselves vulnerable to them and like keep them safe, basically. The opening paragraph says, "We are not young enough to know how to sit and say nothing like we would, and you are too tired to control how you look like you feel like you should." It's a weird line. Basically, like, Vessel is like saying like he notices that there's something wrong with them, even though they're like keeping it like hidden from him. He can tell that there's something wrong. And it's cool because the chorus of the song, each time the chorus plays, they change the lyrics up a little bit. So the first time I say it, it says, "When you think I don't notice the way that you were, and act like you don't feel it the way that you were, you barely believe it the way that you were." And it kind of talks about how this person's hurt. They can never go back to the way that they were because of what has happened to them and their trauma, and they can never be the same person that they were before because of their trauma. And the second part is pretty dark because it's talking about him essentially saving them from like suicide. It says, "I am so ready to tear that knife from what once would have been dead fingers lying blue against the floor. You will no longer stand between collapsing walls wearing a smile like you can't bear it anymore." So, yeah, this part is literally like him trying to like save them from their hurt. And it changes the chorus again, says, "Come on, tear off the bandage, the way that you were. and with pain as your language, the way that you were, will you show me the damage, the way that you were? So yeah, that's the gist of it. It's like he's trying to save this person, essentially. Very different from like everything we've talked about so far, how it kind of shifts from the sleep-centric stuff to more like him talking about his actual personal relationships with people.
Cut. Going.
Okay. So, yeah. That is the way that you were. I gotta navigate back to the other shit. Yeah, so now we have this to talk about. So I'm not sure exactly how it was released or like how it was promoted, but I know how it was released, but like I'm not sure when the actual name of like the album was released. This is a really weird. This is their first. They released their first full-length album this year called Sundowning, but they do not do it conventionally at all. So I don't know if you guys know, but I mean it's pretty obvious. There's been a major shift in the past like decade or so, from physical CDs and shit like that to streaming services.
Yeah.
And the problem with this is that all the money came from selling physical CDs, but the problem is that now it's changed in that you will 100% make more money by just selling an individual song or a couple songs rather than an entire full-length album. You will, because usually streaming, you make individual numbers based off individual songs, whereas before, selling an entire record would be like one price and you'd have to sell this many records to make this much money. But now, you put your entire catalog onto a streaming service and you have to kind of hope that people will just listen to your songs. Because before, you would have, most people would buy an entire record for one song anyways, but they would listen to the whole record, and a lot of people would do that. And the price point would be based off how many songs were on that record. So you basically were making more money before, and now they're not, because people are only listening to individual songs, or like one song. So the whole thing is that a lot of, especially like bands in the metalcore scene, are releasing albums, and they'll release like half the fucking album before it comes out, so that they can make more like streaming numbers like off the individual songs. Sleep Token took this to another fucking level. I don't know, maybe this has been done before in music. It probably has, but I've never personally seen it before until this. Basically, I don't know when it started, but at some point in the year, a Friday happened, and they released a song called The Night Does Not Belong to God. From this point on, every consecutive Friday, they released a new song.
Yo, Sleep Token Fridays?
Yeah, literally. That's really what it was.
Wake up and Sleep Token
I'm not even
Friday.
shitting. That's what it was called. Sleep Token Fridays. People literally called it.
I just made that name
that's really what people were
it's kind of
calling
like
it.
what Gorillaz did with like Song Machine, that one album, because like they said like, oh, we're just gonna release a song once a month for the whole year, haha.
Yeah, that's what they did. Except instead of a month, it was every week, basically.
Yeah, and they're like, psych, it's an album.
But that's okay. Well, then, yeah, that's the same thing. That's what
An
they
album
did.
that's also like a feature-length animated movie.
Yeah, shit, that's like, damn. It's like a whole plot, but yeah.
That's exactly what they did though. Is they released every single song on the album one by one and they released a new song every week. So until the entire album was out, and then they were like, oh, Sundowning. So this album dives fucking deep. So you know how the past couple songs have been like, okay, whatever, like fuck Sleep, we're not really talking about him right now. This whole album is Sleep. Like, we're really diving deep into like Vessel's like relationship with this dude, deity, dude, female, whatever the fuck. Fella. Yeah.
There's even a song title that's like really just obvious.
Yeah, the very first song is literally like a worship song. Like, dead ass. We'll get into it in a second. So, the title of this album, it's called Sundowning, right? Does anybody know what Sundowning is?
I know it was the original title for M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit.
That is not what the answer I was looking for.
I know what sundowning is. It's like a thing that happens to Alzheimer's patients or like old people when the sun goes down. They start to like freak out more just because like the sun is going down.
Yes.
That, like, makes it Alzheimer's worse.
yes.
I heard about that.
Yes.
Or maybe it's the other one.
There's a different name
Alzheimer's
for it, but it's like
and
it has to do with dementia.
yeah.
So.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're 100%
Dementia.
right. You're
That's
100% right. This is nothing like that. It is. I'm just joking. It is, but it's not like that at all. Like the context of dementia, but it's used to kind of describe it. It's like this whole time we've been talking about how Vessel is. It's almost think about it in like reverse. Is Vessel is in pain and in misery when he's awake, and then he feels elated and happy when he's asleep with sleep. So the whole
So it's more sun upping.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, if the pain comes from sundowning, his pain comes from sun upping. But whatever, it's the same term. You get the point. So yeah, that's why this album is called that, because he essentially is going through like reverse sundowning. With his. Like,
so is he getting more and more excited as the sun's going down throughout the album?
Oh no! It's not like one where it like progressively like he like goes to sleep and then wakes up and shit. This is more so it talks about his actual relationship with sleep rather than like the actual physical thing that's happening. Like it talks about what sleep does to him and like how it affects him and how he fights back. So
Fight the system.
yeah, fuck sleep. Fuck sleep. No, just
Oh, my homie.
No, not sleep.
Fuck sleep. All always hate
You heretic.
You heretic. So, let's get into it. Their first full-length album, 12 songs, baby.
Woo.
Sundowning. Actually, before I get into that, I want to talk about the fact that this is the first year where they toured in the U.S. They went on a tour. I don't remember. Okay, so they toured with a band called Issues, which is a metalcore band. Also, they fuck too. Listen to Issues. So they toured with the band called Issues, and it was Issues, Polyphia, Sleep Token, and Lil Aaron. It was a very weird lineup. You have like a progressive metalcore band with a fucking R&B singer. You have an instrumental prog rock band. You have whatever the fuck Sleep Token is, and then you have a fucking rapper as the opener.
Lil Aaron in the house.
Put some respect on that name.
He's like a rapper that plays like pop punk music. It's weird. It's really fucking weird. But so yeah, it was a weird tour. But yeah, Sleep Token was on it, and this was their first foray into like traveling outside the UK and playing in the US and other countries in general. But yeah, so it's also important to note though, because not this tour, but immediately after they got done with it was called the Beautiful Oblivion Tour. That was the name of the new Issues album that came out at the time. After they got done with this tour, they started touring on their own again in the UK. And when this happened, they started touring in support of the new album, Sundowning. It was called the Sundowning Tour. Excuse me. Anyways, what's important to note here is that doing this, they got new members in their live setting. They introduced a keyboardist to the lineup, which was definitely much needed. I don't know how the fuck they played up until this point without a keyboardist. Just Vessel playing piano, I guess, whatever. But so, they introduced a keyboardist to the lineup, and really cool, which they don't have anymore, but they had a tiny chorus play with them. They had these 3 backup vocalists that play with them in like the background, and they literally just fucking stood there the entire time and stared, and then they would sing when they needed to. It was pretty creepy. But yeah, I just think it's so cool that they literally got like fucking like a personal little tiny chorus to play like in the background. Like that's sexy. I love that so much. It also gives it more of that like churchy feel. So it's like worship. But yeah, so that's just cool to note. So now they have like this Vessel, guitar guy, bass, drummer. Like fucking 8 people on stage at once. I should also mention that too about their live shows is that when they play, they kind of have to like be in character and shit. So, they're masked and they're robed and all that shit. Everyone acts kind of like normal, like you would see like, jumping around, playing their instruments and shit like that. Vessel just doesn't do fucking anything. He literally sings and like he kind of like moves around while he like croons and shit. And during like guitar parts and breakdowns where he's not singing, he like fucking like writhes around and shit.
Cause he's awake and the sun is out. What is going on?
Yeah.
Vessel,
well, they're playing at night though.
Oh, why is he not asleep?
I don't fucking know. Maybe there's something going on in his fucking brain while this is happening. Worship. But so, yeah, that happens. And they also do not talk at all during the performance. He says nothing. He just sings. They don't hype the crowd up. They don't, like, jump up and down. They do fucking nothing. He just sings. They do their job, and everyone freaks out. It's great. Like, when you have that much power over people, and when you say fucking nothing, that is how you know you've succeeded as a musician, in my opinion. At least as a live musician. You can hype people up by just fucking standing there. Like,
That's what Tyler does.
It's great. Yeah, like what Tyler. Yeah.
No. Like the artist,
Tyler the creator, as opposed to Tyler the destroyer.
He just stands there and just stares at them. She just stares at the audience for a bit, and then he starts singing.
Yeah.
Let me do what I got to do.
But yeah, so their live shows are cool. They haven't come back to the U.S. since the Beautiful Oblivion tour, which is in 2019. I really hope they do though. A lot. Please. Vaughn wants it too. Vaughn likes Sleep Token.
Shocky U takes a trip to the Sleep Token tour.
I will literally do it. Let's go right now.
We just go to Europe for like
right now. They just got done with the tour. So, I mean, we could have, but we'll
go to Europe for like 1 5-minute lecture.
I should have given this, like, I'll cut, like, several months ago. Damn it. But so, okay, so now we're going to talk about the album they put out, Sundowning. So they put it out track by track, like I said. And the first track that came out was a song called The Night Does Not Belong to God. So this is literally like a fucking worship song. Not about the Christian God, but about our homie, sleep.
Amen. Amen.
God diss track.
God diss track.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. You're not fucking ready for that shit. So we're at, okay, The Night Does Not Belong to God. So this song is essentially saying, so he literally, like, God is not literally like any specific God, but like gods in general. He's essentially saying that while you motherfuckers own the day, you don't have control over when people are sleeping. This guy does. So fuck you. He doesn't. It's less of an aggressive song, but the song is really cool too because it also it's not really metal at all. There's barely any guitar in it except for like towards like the end, and it's not heavy at all. It's much more of like it's almost like it's like an alt rock song kind of. There's not really much else to say about it. It's got cool synths and shit, but lyric wise, it's really cool. The opening paragraph says, "When you live by daylight with angels at your side, in order now, bestowed by the light of the sunrise. And you remember everything only till the sun recedes once again." So, the chorus is literally just him saying, the night comes down like heaven over and over again. And, yeah, basically he's talking about how, like, when the night comes, sleep has control over everyone, and sleep owns people, essentially, because they can't wake up from sleep, so he has them for that brief period of time. He owns the night. The night does not belong to God. It belongs to him. So, yeah. This song is essentially just like a worship song. Like, it's just like, whoa, sleep is cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's a really cool intro to the album, like, lyric-wise. It's really pretty, too, because there's a part in the bridge where Vessel does, like, these falsetto vocals, and he says, "The whites of your eyes turn black in the low light. In turning divine, we tangle endlessly. Like lovers entwined, I know for the last time, you will not be mine, so give me the night, the night, the night." Woo, give me the night. Put me to sleep, fuck this day shit. Yeah.
Wasn't he talking about the whites of the whoever he was in a relationship with in the last two songs that was about, like, physical humans?
I think so.
Interesting.
The whites of your eyes. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure exactly specifically who he's talking to that, like, phrase, but he's begging for the night because he wants the night to come down like heaven. And when the night does come down, he's saying it comes down like heaven because it's so, like, amazing to go to sleep and be with sleep. So, it's like heaven to him, essentially. So, yeah, that's the first song. Yeah. The next song.
This is the song I was referring to with what I said earlier, where it's just a very obvious thing for.
Oh, I know what you mean. Okay, so this next song is the best song they've ever made.
So good.
Hands down. I feel like a little bit of normie saying that because it's also the most popular song, but like, fuck it, it's literally that good. This song is called "The Offering." So remember how before people were like worried about them like not being metal anymore? Yeah, fuck that. This song throws that out the window and does something that Sleep Token's never done before, where instead of starting quiet, they get right into the shit. And they start off with this heavy fucking riff, and it's literally the best guitar riff ever made. Like, I don't fucking care what anyone says, fuck you. Okay, this shit is it's super low tuned and it's super heavy sounding, makes you want to, like, you know, stomp on the ground, become a caveman, you know, caveman music. It's just so fucking good.
And with this one, it's cool because it kind of like it moves back and forth like it does, but it's so cool to like see them embrace their heavier side and like start off like angry and like fucking like intense. It's not really an angry song lyrically, but it feels that way. And so yeah, it kind of goes back and forth between this riff and then like this piano part, and then there's also like a middle part where it's a lot more melodic sounding. It takes the heavy riff and puts like some cool leads and synths over it that make it sound a little bit more melodic. And it has one of the most earth-shattering fucking breakdowns at the end. This shit is... It's also, fun fact, so up until this point, Vessel has a very simple vocal style where he either is singing, he's kind of like singing low, or he's singing a little bit higher and he's like kind of like shout singing a little bit. Or he's doing his falsetto vocals where he's like super high and shit. Vessel screams in this song. Kind of, ish. It's actually, okay, it's less like screaming and more like, he talks really angrily in certain parts, and he does like whispers and shit, like in certain parts where he puts like his breathiness like into his vocals, like where he takes it way over the edge and he just straight up whispers the words he's saying instead of singing them. It's really cool. But yeah, then at the end, like it kind of like builds up, and you can hear him like say whatever he's saying. He says the words "take a bite" over and over again, and then it builds up, and he's like, "Take a bite," huh? Oh, take a bite.
So cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, he's just like, take a bite! And then breakdown. And it just sounds so fucking angry. So, this song is basically... I have 15%? What the fuck?
Uh-oh.
I should be fine for the rest of the lecture. But basically...
We can get you a charger.
Yeah, I know. This song is basically, it's what it sounds like. It's the offering. This song is, the beginning of this album is a lot more about, like, Vessel, like, really, like, giving himself to sleep and being like... I'm yours. Merry Christmas. You can do what you want with me. Kind of kinky. So yeah, this song is basically him saying like, I am an offering to you and you can use me as you please. And throughout the song, he repeats the phrase, take a bite of me. Like literally like, fucking use me how you want. I don't care. I am yours. The opening paragraph to this, he says, you are a garden entwined with all. You are the silence on sacred shores. You've got diamonds for teeth, my love. So take a bite of me just once. I want to turn the page once again. And then he's like, take a bite. It's fucking sick. I love it. It's so good. So yeah, this one is just basically about him like giving himself to sleep and like letting him be used, kind of. Yeah, I think I forgot to mention too, actually, I totally forgot, but like the band is kind of like, the band at first, in 2017, they got signed to a label called Basic Records. Now they're signed to a different label called Spine Farm Records, which is owned under, I think, Universal Music, so that's pretty cool. And that's where they're still signed to Spine Farm, so just a random thing I just thought of. But yeah, so that song's heavy as fuck. The next one is completely different. The next song on the record is called Levitate. This one is straight up like a piano ballad, like all the way through. Gives me really like vibes of like sailing through the clouds on like a fucking like a paraglider or some shit. I don't know why. This is what I think of when I hear it. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to talk about this song. It's one of my lesser like Sleep Token songs, but it's still good. It's mostly just a piano ballad all the way through, and then at the end there's this really cool like guitar. It's not really like a chuggy wuggy breakdown, but it's like a I'm gonna play the exact same note over and over again, and it's gonna sound really cool. Fuck you. And it also has like a really weird time signature, and there's like piano in the background. It literally just sounds like Vessel's just slamming his hands on the fucking keyboard. But this one, lyric-wise, it starts off. It says, "I can lift you up. Your body is mostly blood, like water, a perfect flood. Excuse me, engulfing me again. And I can tell you won't remember my cracking bones, the trauma we can't regrow, just as I leave you again." So, this one is it's talking about the waking thing that Vessel hates, and it likens sleep leaving him as sleep levitating up into the clouds and disappearing out of sight and leaving him again. In the chorus he says, "Will you levitate up where the angels inhabit? Will you levitate where I won't reach you?" So he's like saying, he's really sad. He's really sad, like, don't leave me, please. But yeah. I think it's also something interesting is that I just read something where it's like it talks about how I think Vessel forgets everything that happened. Like each time a new night starts and he goes to sleep, he forgets what happened the previous night. and then basically he processes the new information, and then each time he just does this like over and over again. Which is why I think he like when I was talking about when the bow breaks, how he's like showing the same things kind of over and over again. Like he's okay with, huh?
It's like that one stand.
Yeah, it's like that one stand. Like he's okay with seeing the same things over and over again because he doesn't even fucking remember it happening before. So yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, so that's Levitate. A little bit of a simpler song. The next one is a sexy one. This one's really cool. This next song is called Dark Signs. This song is like an R&B song. It has like a really. This song is mostly, it doesn't have like actual drums. It has like a hip hop beat kind of playing under it.
Shit.
Yeah, with like Vessel like singing and shit, and it's swag, and it sounds like really dark, really like evil kind of. And then towards the end of the song, they do their sleep token thing, and you know they play guitar, you know. And yeah, it cuts off, and it's like this really cool like riff where it's like, you get the point. Yeah, and then it cuts back into the hip hop beat. It's really weird. Fun fact, actually, I didn't even think to tell you guys about this. The way I found this band was through Fortnite.
Oh yeah!
What?
You told me about this.
So I actually had a friend tell me about them before, and I like briefly listened to them and kind of wrote them off because for some reason the first time I listened to them I didn't think they were the greatest band ever. Don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. But then I found out that so Fortnite has this thing where you can play you drive cars.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, and they have radio stations. They're ass. Even the rock one, they have one called Rockin' Royale, and it's really shitty. It's not good. But every now and then they play a song or two that's okay. And I still haven't heard it yet. I don't know if it's still in like the rotation anymore. But Dark Signs was one of the songs that would play on the fucking radio. And I found that out, and I was like, whoa, I know that band Sleep Token. Like, I looked at we'll go check them out again, and then that changed my life. Now
it's kind of funny how like such a cartoony, like brightly colored game plays such a song like
Dark Signs. It's funny too, because then you go and check out the rest of the music and like, what the fuck? Like imagine if they play like fucking gods. And we're getting there.
What's this out? Yeah, this is an album.
It's just the album that has that on it. Yeah. So yeah, but Dark Signs is really cool. And it's weird too, because it's like they play it on the rock music station, and it's literally like a pop song with like a hip hop beat. I don't know. And then it turns into like a fucking gent at the end. It's not even remotely any sort of rock, but whatever, I guess. If they play guitar in it, I guess it's rock music. So yeah, the Dark Signs is really cool. This song also talks about again the birth of sleep, and this one is where we see a shift in the tone of Vessel to worshiping sleep to realizing that sleep is toxic as fuck for him. So the opening paragraph says, where I was raised, there was no streetlights, just pitch black and passing headlights. And where we met, there must have been dark signs, omens in your skies. Most days, you reach for safety, remain calm, forget that you know me. And when we met, I could see dark signs, alarm bells in your eyes. So, this is like basically him saying, like, it's talking about how, I kind of interpret this as being like Vessel's life sucked, and he was always, the reason why like sleep was so drawn to him is because he sleeps so fucking much, because he wants to escape his normal life. And so prior to him meeting sleep, he always slept and always tried to like escape the day and escape like the misery of his normal life, which is why he says where I was raised there was no streetlights, just pitch black and passing headlights. He describes the passing headlights. To me, I interpret that as the passing headlights are when he briefly wakes up and then he tries to go back to sleep. He basically saying he was raised in the fucking dark.
That's a cool
I was born in it.
I knew it. I knew someone was gonna fucking.
I was about to, but I couldn't do the voice.
I knew it.
I couldn't do it either. I just went with it.
You merely adopted
honestly
the dark.
Well,
I was born in it.
I've never thought of it that way. I've never thought of it that way. That's a really cool interpretation.
I know, right? I'm so cool. But yeah, so that's kind of like what Dark Signs is like. Yeah, I mean, you never really like think about it until you actually go and like. I never really thought. You know who opened my eyes to all this shit? I have a friend. I'm gonna shout him out real quick. I have a friend named Kyra.
Yo.
And dude, he's like really deep into like reading like lyrics and shit like that. He writes a lot of poetry, and so like me, I just kind of listen to music. I don't really fucking care about lyrics that much, but I guess now I'm here. But so he kind of like opened my eyes and was like, dude, you need to read Sleep Token's lyrics because they're really fucking deep and really cool. And so I did. and now I'm here. So yeah, because at first glance, like if you didn't know anything about like the backstory of like Sleep Token and like Vessel and Sleep and all that bullshit, you'd just be like, okay, it's just a bunch of fucking romance songs, whatever, cool. Like toxic love, this is a common thing that people talk about. Make her read the tape in the bathroom mirror. But like upon closer examination, you're like, damn, all this shit ties together, and it's like about him and this relationship with this god. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's kind of sexy. But yeah, at first, I have 10%. Ooh, let's go. Let's see if I can make through the rest of Sundowning with my phone dying.
What's your phone brightness at?
It's like not even half, like in the middle.
Are you in low power mode?
No.
Put on low power mode.
I already got rid of the notification. We don't have time for things like this. But yeah. So, it also, there's this part where he says, I miss the man I was the moment we left off, and I hate who I have become every time I wake up. Basically saying that when he wakes up, he realizes that he's, like, he remembers his life and his shitty life and how he himself is not a good person, and he hates the man who he has become without sleep. It's kind of like, it's like that toxic love where he's like, I know that you're, like, shitty for me, and, like, I knew that from the beginning that you were going to be bad for me, but here I am, literally needing you to, like, conduct my life for me, because without you, I'd be fucked. So, yeah. The background vocals here also say, I won't break and bend to my basic need to be loved and close to somebody. So, yeah. He's basically, like, saying, I don't know how to interpret this one. It's weird. Never mind. Everyone in the comments, you take care of it for me.
I mean, it's a chilling lyric on its own.
Yeah, the whole point is that he's trying to be like independent of himself, but he's having a hard time. I guess that's why they play it in like the background, because it's like you have the top vocals is him like self-loathing and saying like I can't do anything without sleep, and then in the background it's like that voice trying to tell him like, hey, you need to stand up. Ooh, wait, that's sexy. It's like him trying to like in the distance trying to say like you need to stand up for yourself and you don't need sleep and you'll be okay, but it's overshadowed by his self-loathing. Holy fuck, that's cool. I never even thought about that. That's a cool detail. I don't know if that's what they fucking wanted to do, but that's how I interpret it. So yeah, it's like that's like his two different like personalities, like this self-loathing and like trying to like overshadow any sort of confidence he has left. Wow, that's cool. Fuck sleep. Yeah. So that the whole point of the song is essentially like him realizing like this toxic love for sleep is doing things to him, but also noting from the beginning that he knew that it might not have been a good idea and he still did it anyways because, you know, sleep was like, hey, I can give you a lot of great things if you like become a proxy for me, and he was like, ooh, cool, but he knew from the beginning that it was fucked, but so we're here now.
Cut. Go.
Hey, I thought I heard something. Okay.
Hulk Hogan.
So that was Dark Signs. Next we have the next song on the album. It's called Higher. So this one is kind of where Vessel starts to like kind of get a little bit rebellious. Now he's in the previous song he's like noted how like yeah like sleep is toxic for me, and in this one he is starting to attribute the nightmares that sleep gives him as kind of like a struggle in a sense, like a literal physical struggle. So here we go. So the song opens with the lyrics. You say you won't begin again. Capitulate and let me in. 'Cause I am a fire and you are dry as bone. You are taking your time. You are killing me slow. And I know we instigate. Go back and forth and lacerate. 'Cause you can remember only when you're alone. I am granting you more than the debt that I owe. There's a lot of things to process there, but essentially, yeah, he's talking about how he's trying to fight back and wrestle with sleep and wrestle with these visions that he's given him and trying to, yeah, fight back against them. Because he's realizing now that it's like bad for him and he doesn't want to fucking deal with it. The chorus for this says, because I look for scarlet and you look for ultraviolet. And we are exhausted by all this pretending. We just can't resist the violence. And you need a melody. I only need the silence. But each time we battle, the blood and the fury takes us a little higher. So, I'm not exactly sure what like he's referring to when he says higher. I guess like it's a way to say like that it's getting worse in a sense. The blood and the fury is making it worse. But this part is really cool to me because the lines, I look for scarlet and you look for ultraviolet. And the other line, you need a melody, I only need the silence, is basically Vessel's way of saying, like, I never asked for this. Like, I never asked for you to give me these visions that you give me. I just wanted to be asleep and be calm, be silent. I looked for one thing and you looked for another. Basically, he's saying like I didn't fucking ask for this and you did this to me. So, yeah, there's not really much to talk about. It's just that's the whole thing. Is that this is about Vessel, the beginning of Vessel kind of rebelling against Sleep's bullshit. So yeah, sound wise, the song's a little bit like barely sits up there. This song is a little bit darker sounding.
I might have a longer chord in my truck.
Huh?
So I might have a longer chord in my truck.
If you want to get it at some point, we can cut. But, so yeah, it's a little bit darker. It starts off rather than like more like synth-driven stuff. Like the last song, Dark Signs, was like a full-on like pop song. This one it has like more like clean guitar riffs, but it sounds like really dark and like ominous. And the first chorus is really melodic, piano, these really cool like drum fill things. And then the actual drums come in, and there's this really cool like guitar riff that plays, and it plays in sync with the. I really like when bands write like guitar parts and bass parts separately instead of it just being like, oh, let's make the bass copy the rhythm guitar. In this case, it's one of those things where they actually genuinely sound different, and it's really cool. It sounds really nice, but it has this really dark kind of ominous feeling, like something is like gonna happen. And eventually, it builds back up into it, like the actual like electric guitars come in. Vessel's, you know, going ham in the background, like, oh, and all that. And then it builds up into the chorus again. The cool part of this is another like kind of reaction type song because you're going through the whole thing and you're like, wow, okay, this is nice. This is, you know, cool. This song is the first time that Vessel truly lets out a fucking scream, and it's amazing. There's a part where all the guitars taper off and there's a build up. And you hear, he repeats the same phrase over and over again. He says, the debt that I owe, the debt that I owe, the debt that I owe, the debt that I owe. And he's like, the debt that I owe. And then it's like, you know the vibe.
Ding, 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 ding.
Dun, 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 dun. You know the vibe. It goes ham. Shit is literally, it's fucking amazing too, because this breakdown is cool as shit. And then there's a second half of the breakdown where he screams the debt that I owe again. And they somehow managed to make the guitar tone go lower than what it already was. And it's so, like, evil sounding, dude. And I think this phrase, in particular, the reason why he puts so much emphasis on it is that he refers to the debt that he owes is, the way I interpret it is like, that because Sleep has, in addition to like these nightmarish visions that he gives him, the reason why he keeps coming back and wants to be asleep is because Sleep gives him good visions too. He gives him good and bad. But he's starting to notice that the bad outweighs the good, I guess, which is why, you know, this song happens. And basically he attributes the debt that he owes is basically like him saying like, Sleep expects him to be grateful for the things that he gives him, even though he's also like literally torturing him from the inside out. Like, and it's bullshit, which is why he rebels in the song a little bit more. And it's less about him full on worshiping Sleep and being like, you're a dick. Like, why are you doing this to me? I didn't ask for this.
When they posted this, did they end it with worship still?
Basically, anytime they post like on their social media sites that they're talking about like a concert announcement or whatever, the word worship is at the end of every one of those types of posts. And it's also, I'm pretty sure it's in the description for all the YouTube videos that they have. It's always somewhere, the word worship.
And it's always capitalized too, like it's the first word.
It's like worship, letter. Period. But yeah, it's basically the way of saying like, reminding everyone like you need to worship, you need to put the effort in. Sleep. But so yeah, that's that's higher. Song comes next actually. Oh, okay. The next couple songs veer off. It's funny too because we leave off with that song which is like heavy as fuck at the end. And we veer off. The next couple songs are a lot more poppy sounding. This next song is called Take Aim. And it's like straight up, it's like a pop rock song. It's not even like,
it doesn't have like it has like an acoustic guitar playing in the background, and it's a lot more major key is the word I'm looking for. It's a lot brighter, it's very sunny sounding, less sad sounding. And this one kind of keeps let me drink some of this. My voice is
The refreshing taste of Bang energy.
yeah. Like water.
Let's drink some Bang.
Bang, sponsor us.
Bang, let your when. So this one kind of dives a little bit further into Vessel's rebellion. This one is okay. It's less actually about the rebellion and more like it's kind of the same thing as like Dark Signs, where he's realizing like how toxic sleep is for him. But in this song, he is talking about how it's like the lyricism from The Offering meets higher, kind of, where he's like, I know that you're toxic for me, I know that you're bad, but here, do what you want with me anyways. Like, fully realizes what he's doing to himself and is like, do what you want. The opening paragraph says, wait, won't you wait for me? Don't you bathe in rivers? Don't you feel alive? When I see you waking up, it sends me shivers, how you love like weapons kill. I fucking love that line. This song has really cool lyrics in it. The line, how sleep loves like weapons kill, he interprets it as like, even the nightmarish visions that he gives him is like a form of love and a form of care, even though it's not at all like that. And so, this is him kind of being like, I know that you're bad for me, but I'm going to accept you anyways. Yes.
I interpreted that lyric as like, weapons don't kill things specifically, but they are used to kill things. And in relation, sleep is a tool of love and not just something that loves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's like a host for the love, rather than literally him loving. That's a lot. Yeah. Because we don't even know what like sleep looks like. You kind of have to look at it less like a person and more like a
force.
A force. Yes, that's a very good way of describing it. Like a force that projects these things onto Vessel. My voice is getting really fucking dry.
Ready.
Good. I actually don't remember what the last thing I said was. Okay, I remember. We're getting into the chorus now. The chorus is really short, but it just says, so take aim at me for once. Just take aim, break me apart. So yeah, this is kind of going back to like, oopsies.
It was a disaster waiting to happen.
Should I do anything about that, or?
Cut.
Yep.
So, we're going to talk about the chorus now. It's really short. It says, so take aim at me for once. Just take aim, break me apart. And this is like, once again, it's like Vessel being like, I know that you're bad for me, but you're allowed to just do what you want with me. I get it, whatever the fuck, just, do whatever you want, it's fine. But he says, break me apart. Like, if that's what you need to do in order to do what you need to do it. I'm here for it, whatever. It sucks. Prior to this, at least in The Offering, he was okay with it, and this, he knows it's bad and acknowledges it, but still lets it happen anyways. It's pretty wild. And this second verse is like one of the best sets of lyrics they've written ever. I love it. It says, won't you call out my name like a curse on this world, like a battle cry. You make me hate myself, make me tear my body, make me yearn for your embrace. And he's acknowledging how you literally are destroying me from the inside out, but at the same time, you also make me miss you so much to where I literally cannot live without you physically. I'm going to die. So yeah, it's real toxic. They're bad for each other. Vessel like sleep was not a good one, y'all. There's probably I don't get any idea. If I ever see any Vessel X Sleep fan fictions, I will find you and dox you and break your neck. Personally,
just dox someone who has already written.
I will personally
dox
see
someone right
that
now.
sleep puts you to an eternal sleep.
I'm gonna start on the fan art and then I'll have it in the Discord by tonight.
I will burn you alive.
So the way he's describing his relationship, the way Vessel is describing their relationship with sleep is kind of homoerotic.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't mention that earlier. How I was like, it's going to be romantic. It's a little bit kinky.
Yeah, so I feel like fanfiction.
We weren't even there yet. I forgot. Oh god, the next song. Oh dude. Okay, so you get the point of Take Aim is that like he's acknowledging that it's bad for him, but he's like, you can do it. You can do whatever you want with me. It's fine. sound-wise, like I said, this one's a little bit more like just straight up like a pop rock song. I really like, the reason why I like that second verse so much is the lyrics are cool, and that toxic love thing is like something I'm really like, lyric-wise, I'm like really into, because like literally all my problems in my entire life have been with like relationships, so it kind of, I relate to it, you know, Jackson Moore moment. So yeah, and at the end, he says, you know I'll be yours when the moment is perfect. I will fire and forget till we both lay broken. And you know I'll be yours, just want to be worth it. I will run like the wind till you follow me again. So, yeah. So yeah, that's that song. Oh, that's what I was saying. The second verse though, for that song, has him doing literally some of like the highest vocals he's done in their entire like discography. He goes into the fucking stratosphere with that shit, and it's like, he's like, and you make me hate myself. It's like the end part where he's like, make me yearn for your embrace. Dude goes nuts. It's wild, sexy. So the next song is, okay, so I'm just gonna go straight to the sound with this one. You know how during movies, like, there's sex scenes?
Hell yeah!
Wait, what?
Very
Bro, you know how people have sex, bro?
You know how like there's like sex scenes in movies and there'll be like a song playing usually. It's like, it's not like where it's I'm not talking about the movies where it's like it just straight up shows them like fucking, but it's like them like, you know, it's romantic and like it's
like
built up
50
throughout
Shades
the
of Grey and shit. You got like
sure,
the
yeah. I haven't seen the movie, but you know what I mean. It's like that kind of thing.
I think it's
It's more romantic than sexual.
Yeah, so the opposite of what you just
Yeah,
said.
it's more romantic than sexual, is what I'm trying to say. But it's like a sex scene.
The Notebook.
Yeah! Bitch. What I'm trying to say is, this song is that. This is a sex song. This is like something you'd like rail someone to. Yeah, it's one of those. So this song is radically different from like anything on this whole album. Honestly, really different from like most things that they've written. This song is another like full-on pop song, but unlike Dark Signs, where at least there's a small part with, you know, guitar, this song is just full-on like electronic drums and synths and shit the entire song. A lot of people like talk about how they really dislike that song, and to that I say, you have no culture, okay? And you probably just listen to the same shitty metalcore songs every day. I'm looking at you, okay? Invent Anime is not that good. Anyways, I have beef with the metalcore community, sorry.
Hell yeah.
Get them. Get their ass.
Yeah.
Get their ass.
Yes.
You're beating their ass in the quote retweets, bro.
Clean vocals can be in deathcore without it being metalcore, okay? Clean vocals are cool, okay? It's okay to sing sometimes. Like, anyway, I'm gonna get like shit on. There's gonna be people who find this video who are like metalcore and deathcore fans.
You're gonna see your IP address in the comments.
Your music tastes ass. Anyway.
fake metalcore fan.
Why don't they just make a bunch of songs like The Offering?
You fucking poser.
You fucking poser. Yeah.
Poser.
So yeah, this is the sex song. This song is like, sound-wise, there's not really much to talk about. It's very poppy. The reason why I think it sounds so like sexy is that it's a lot like slower in tempo. So it's like, and it's just it's got that romantic vibe to it, you know. Like, you would destroy someone. So yeah, lyric-wise, let's see. We open up here. He says, "You take the dark and carve me out a home. I picture you when you are all alone. I know how we got here. I know how we got here. I am the shadow, you're a passenger. I am the intake of breath so sharp, and I know you better. Just want to know you better." So this one is like, just forget about the whole toxic bullshit. This is like Vessel diving into almost like a romantic kind of vibe with Sleep, and talking about how he's going to learn everything about him and just absorb himself in Sleep, basically. Excuse me. Yeah, the chorus says, "If you want to give, then give me all that you can give, all your darkest impulses. And if you want to give me anything, then give. Give in again."
Brother fucking.
For real. It's, it's a little bit like that. Maybe not literally, but he doesn't do a good job of like concealing it. But yeah, so yeah, this song is really like about just him really absorbing himself in sleep, and like I'm gonna fucking worm my way into that deity brain of yours and become one with you, and you're gonna like it. This is the point in the story where I guess, where he's really like starting to like say like become more independent of himself rather than just being like a proxy for sleep. Like he's really like, I'm gonna fucking like we're gonna be together, but I'm not gonna be like under you. We're gonna be side by side. We're gonna be equals. Okay, that's kind of what it's like. And I'm so sorry. Go.
How dare you? It's what song is that in the album?
It's called Give.
Or what? Sorry, what like number song?
I think it's fuck.
It's fuck.
It's number fuck.
Track number 7.
It's
like,
number
Out
dirt.
of how many?
Out of 12. Yeah.
Also, what an inconvenient toxic relationship to have, because like he has to like go to sleep, like he has to do it every day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sleep kind of toxic for real.
Yeah, like here, come here. You can come and like sleep, and I'll give you nice
Cool.
things, but then I'm gonna like make you see like ISIS decapitations.
Drink bang energy and don't sleep.
Hashtag
Yeah.
cancel sleep.
No.
Yeah, cancel sleep 2021, bro. Oh fuck, it's 2022 now. Yeah, I mean I don't literally mean like decapitations, but you know what I mean. Like I just like interpret it as like him being forced to see like whatever it is, and whatever it is, it's just the like the embodiment of bad.
It's just lively
Yeah.
compilation.
Yeah. If you wanted to liken it to something, then yeah.
Sleep, stop showing me lively compilations.
Me when the Chinese worker sees the Lively logo.
No.
Anyways, now the cool part is that in the bridge here, he says, "In this open warfare, I won't fight fair. No, I won't fight fair. And in your waking moments, I will be there. I will be there." So he's saying that even though he like sleep had control over him, that he's not gonna stand down and let this shit happen. We're gonna live together, and you're gonna be in my brain, but no matter what, we are like equals. I'm not gonna be your bitch anymore, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool too that he describes it as like open warfare. Like it's like it's a war, like a war in his head. Like yeah, edgy teenager lyrics. There's a war in my head. But yeah, so that's what this vibe is. Sex song. You don't know who it is. Immediately after this, we get the heaviest song that they've ever written. So, Ed, remember how earlier you were like, oh, this is like the Fuck You God song? Yeah, no, this is the fuck
God diss track?
Yeah, this is the God diss track. This is the God diss track. Literally, that is what it is. This song is called Gods, and this is actually the God diss track. This song is really weird, because I don't think when they were writing this album that they were like planning on having a concept for it necessarily. They just were writing songs about sleep. And that's why it was released like piece by piece instead of being like a cohesive thing. It's like a bunch of rather than it fitting together like a cohesive album. It kind of just sounds like a bunch of songs that they wrote, basically like a collection more than an album. And that's why I think that this is so like out of place from the rest of the songs, because they basically were like, oh, well, let's write a heavy song, why not? And they just kind of slapped in the middle. But the problem is that it comes immediately after Give, which is like this super poppy song, like super slow, super romantic, and then Gods comes in, and all of a sudden you're getting punched in the face with guitar riffs, like out of nowhere. Like there's not even any intro or anything. It literally just goes right into like burn. It's wild. But yeah, so like song-wise, like musically, this song is very heavy. A lot of heavy guitar riffs. There is basically no breaks in this song, barely, like ever. Cool guitar riffs. Also, Vessel just gave up on singing. This song is literally just him screaming in agony throughout the. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure there is no technique to his scream. He literally is just like yelling, and it's so great. Yeah, it's so cool because they haven't done anything like this since then, and it's not that I'm like disappointed. It would just be cool to see him like really go ham on it, because on this song he goes insane. Like he goes off, like he's pissed. To the point where it's funny because at the end of the song, after the song ends, and like you know, like at the end of like songs, there's like guitar feedback where it's like it's like tapering off and shit. Yeah, well, while that's happening at the end, as like the guitars like slowly like fade away, you just hear him in the background going. Dude went full gorilla.
Monkey mode.
Yeah, dude was pissed. But so yeah, it's like really heavy for a while, and then there's like a passage where everything goes away and it's just drums for like a couple seconds, and then like these clean guitars and synths and like this really cool piano like line comes in,
and he goes from screaming to singing again, and it's really weird because I feel like his screaming and singing vocals are so radically different. Because you have like this soft R&B crooning, and just before that he was like, you know, cutting his Achilles heel. So yeah, it's really pretty, and it's like it's super like easy for a while, like super like calm, and then it like tapers off again, and it's like you're like, oh shit, something's about to happen, and then it does, and he's screams again, and then it's like breakdown, and it's like super groovy. It's less like chuggy breakdown and more like a groovy like kind of riff breakdown, and then the second half of that breakdown, they do the thing again where they somehow make the guitar tone fucking lower than it already was, and it's like I don't know how it's like you're listening to it and it's like I don't know how this could get heavier, and then they do it. Yeah, and then you know at the end of the song you hear yeah, that song makes me like
It's like put it on the helmet in Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yeah. The Halo breathing noise. The running noise. Yeah, it's great. This isn't even the last time he does this, and I love it. I love when people breathe in songs. It's like really like cool.
Yo, breathing is so fucking cool.
It really is. It's so cool. That's why I love his vocal style, because the whole time you can just hear all the breath, like every like imperfection too, like the way that his like what you can tell when he's like singing a song and he's like in pain, like mentally, and he like you can tell like maybe like where he's crying a little bit, like you can hear his voice like shake and waver sometimes, and they keep all that in, and it's beautiful.
You mentioned that like the offering earlier, how he was ending lines with him like almost whispering.
Yeah, because there's like parts where he's like and then he just goes, just take a bite of me, and it's like, damn, like, are you okay? Dude, you need a hug from a real person, maybe, perhaps.
Bro, I'll hug Vessel.
Yeah, fuck sleep. But yeah, like I said, okay, lyric-wise, this is really fucking cool. Because this song's so fucking angry, and like Ed said, is literally a god diss track. The whole song is basically about him shunning all of the other gods, like, in religion away from him, and basically saying, like, sleep is mine.
Yo.
Yeah, and saying, like, I don't need any of you because I got this guy.
Fuck Buddha.
Yeah, literally, fuck Buddha, fuck Jesus, fuck Yahweh.
Yo, Hypno been quiet since he dropped this shit.
Bitch.
Amaterasu's a bitch. Yeah, so yeah, the whole song is the opening line, by the way, and like literally just the song starts and he's like screaming in your face, and he says, where is it? He says, I see the gods avert their gaze from me. My fucking form is but a wreck beneath them, and there are always people I can call on. It's all so easy for me. So yeah, he's basically like, I got my worshippers, I got my homie Sleep. You're all fucked. Okay, you're gonna. Maybe not die, but like I don't need you.
Ain't got shit on Tupac though.
Oh god.
Yo, step up to my.
Yo, Vessel versus Tupac.
Epic rap battles of history.
Yo, watch the Tupac lecture.
Death battle.
People are gonna, if this comes out before the Tupac lecture and they see that, they're gonna be like, they're gonna get the wrong idea, think that someone here actually did a lecture on like Tupac. But yeah, I think this is cool too, because so I can count literally, oh fuck me, in the entirety of their discography, there is literally like three separate songs where where Vessel curses, and like this is one of the few times, he says, let's fuck her up in Nazareth, and on this one he says, my fucking form is just a wreck beneath them, in this song, so that's how you know when like, he's really like, yeah.
Otherwise, there's pretty Mormon dude.
Yeah, pretty nice, chill dude. He's all like, but in this song, he's like, you know,
Soul says fuck.
Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit.
Top of the morning. Top of the morning.
So I love the lyrics in this one. It's like, and then it says, no more taking chances, no more teeth to bite with, no more smiling faces. I am alone again. And then it says, you want to talk it out, because the joke's on me and I'm laughing too. You want to watch me bleed, because I bleed so well. It's all so easy for me. And I think this is like him talking about like how, I think this is partially too, like he knows that worshiping sleep, again, is bad for him. But he's okay with it, and he's really taken it in, like, and basically become a proud proxy in a sense. Like he is proud of the fact that he worships sleep, and he's gonna fuck all of you up because of it. And then there's that part in the middle where it like, the heavy goes away and it's like soft and there's pianos and shit. It's like two different songs almost, like bipolar metal. And he says,
Do you like the way it feels, like fire from the heavens, carving past the surface into you? Do you like the way it feels, like fire from the heavens, tearing me asunder beside you? And I think this part of the song is him talking to sleep. And being like, do you enjoy watching me suffer for you? And like, do all this shit to further your name? Do you like that? Oh god, that's another one. We're gonna get that. That's another song. But like it's basically like him like sarcastically being like, you're an asshole. Like I have to do this for you, and like I hope that you really like it. I hope you enjoy watching me be yours, I guess. So yeah. And then it goes back into the angry, and he's like, it's all so easy for me. Riff. Yeah, this song's heavy. It slaps. But yeah. And then this kind of like never happens again. This is like the one song where like it was like the rage song, I guess. Why didn't you guys just write more songs like The Offering and Gods?
Shut the fuck up. I just want to listen to music, man. I don't care about these genres fucking suck.
Literally. It's like, I literally saw, so the next album after this just came out, and it's like there's a review I saw from a metal magazine, and that's literally like the entirety of his review. It's just like, oh, the new album, why didn't they just write more of The Offering? And it's like, you realize how stupid you sound?
Bro.
Like you're basically saying, oh, just write the same song over and over again.
Yeah, let's just do the same sound and never change that sound.
Yeah.
Bro, for Offering, dude.
Yeah.
But Imagine Dragons makes a lot of money.
Yeah, but does
I was literally about to make an Imagine Dragons.
Like Imagine
I was like,
Dragons,
let's just be Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, but in this case, you're writing for a genre that doesn't make money anyway, so like, who cares? Metalcore doesn't make money. Metal breakdowns don't pay the bills. Okay? So who cares? Just do what you want. Like, even Imagine Dragons has their merits. I don't think they're good, but like, they're okay. Like, fun fact, an ad just popped up on my Genius page that says best place to mint new NFTs.
What is it?
It's on screenshot.
I don't fucking know. Fuck crypto.com.
Just screenshot all that shit.
Shock, are you NFT?
No, don't give us ideas. Alright, so this next one.
Dang.
What's your battery at now?
45.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that
Not
was
too bad.
fast.
Get the fuck in here, cunt.
Because it's just a small battery.
It's just a wreck beneath them. So this next song, okay, we're on the next song now.
Also easy.
This one's called Sugar. Not to be confused with the hit song by System of a Down. Not to be confused with the hit song by Maroon 5.
Yo.
Sugar. So this song, actually, this is another sex song. Yeah, this is another sex song.
Sounded like it.
Yeah, no, this song is definitely sex. Yeah.
Godfuckers out here. winning.
Godfuckers. Yeah, fucking Zeus. Vessel is Zeus. Confirmed. This one is like it starts off with this really cool like light almost like a toy piano. No, not like a toy piano, but it's a really like light sounding kind of synth. And this really cool like not really a hip hop beat, but like it's an electronic like percussion thing starts playing. And this song is mostly like it's like a pop song. This song is mostly like electronics rather than like any guitar or like bass or shit like that. And it's one of the few songs where Bessel just does all falsetto vocals almost the entire time. So he's just really like quiet and breathy the whole time, and it's really cool, really hot. And then eventually it comes to like a bridge part where he goes from the falsetto to doing like his kind of like shouty like singy vocals, and then that slowly built. You know what a dubstep beat sounds like, where it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. So it kind of goes into that, and like he's singing, and then the music cuts off, and he says a line which I'll get into, and then that's when the guitars come in. Not really a breakdown, but it kind of goes. It plays the chorus again, but with this really cool riff under it. Then one of my favorite parts in their music ever. Right after this, they play a different riff, and it's another one like dun 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 dun, like a Deftonesy kind of riff. That's like super low tune, and over top of that, he's singing like these falsetto vocals, and the difference in tone like matches so well. And I don't know what it is about this riff, but this shit makes me want to like swing my arms around you, like I like just punch things. It's so good. But so lyric wise, this song, like I said, it's a sex song. This song is like, this song is really kinky. like low key. Like it's really like it's Vessel kind of starting to say that he likes the pain that that sleep brings him, even though like, again still acknowledging that it's toxic, but he is totally like enraptured in it and okay with it because he's gotten, I guess, so used to like the good parts of his relationship with sleep that they've merged together, and he can't tell it blur. It's been the line has been blurred essentially, and he can't really differentiate anymore. So now he just enjoys all of it no matter what. So shit has gotten really bad now. Like, so the opening paragraph says, "You play a twisted little game, but I know in a way you need to complicate it. Believe that though we never eat, we still know how to feed. We still know how to bleed." It's edgy. There's also this whole thing that I don't really get where Vessel talks about in this song, and then another one where he talks about not eating. And I don't know if that has anything to do with sleep or anything, but it's there. Yeah, I don't know, but Vessel's skinny apparently. And then the chorus is him repeating the phrase, "Sugar, I've developed a taste for you now," over and over again. So I think it's cool, like he gives sleep pet names now. He calls it Sugar.
Maybe it's the reference to the fact that like a lot of monks would have very strict diets because they were nourished by the Lord, and so he's becoming a full disciple.
That would make sense. Yeah, like I don't need food because I have you, basically. That makes sense. I think it's cool that he says we still know how to feed, like even though like I don't eat, like I know how to feed in a different way. not sexual at all. Don't worry. But yeah, so he's saying, "Sugar, I've developed a taste for you now," like saying like sugar is kind of like a poison, but he's acquired the taste he needs to appreciate like sleep's torment in a sense. Yeah, shit's wild. The second verse is where it gets kinky. He says, "My arms keep you in the room, barely let you move, show me what you do. Tonight we're second guessed again. Let me wrap the chains, addicted to the pain." This would be good in 50 Shades of Grey, in my opinion. But, so yeah, just further cements that. And the bridge is where it gets really cool. He says, "Do you want to see how far it goes? Do you want to test me now, my love? You must be crazy if you think that I will give in so easily. Things we buried low, coming to the surface now, my love. You must be crazy if you think that I will give up the game." So he's really like making sleep his bitch now, and it's really cool. And then, you know, that part where it's like, he's like, "Give up the game," and then guitar, and it's really cool. But yeah, that's like the whole point. This one is like really talking about like how toxic their love has gotten for each other, and how he is like, he has genuinely acquired a taste for the misery, essentially. It's a cool, I'm gonna have to write that down. It's a cool lyric. But yeah, so that's Sugar. Next up we have, we're leaving the sex vibes behind. The next three songs are fucking depressing as shit. This next one is called "Say That You Will." Our opening lyrics say, "Is that a word you said, my love, or just a gesture in tongues? Well, I live to guess your sorrow, and you live to empty my lungs. And you've got me up in a frenzy again, and I know you're planning to leave in the end." So, this one is like about saying that like he knows that every time that sleep is going to leave and abandon him again, every time he wakes up, and that he doesn't really understand like what he's giving him, but he takes it anyways because it makes him feel good and it makes him happy. So, but this one is, yeah, he lives to guess your sorrow. Yeah, and this one is like, yeah, this one is more sad, more so saying like he's like begging sleep to stay, and begging sleep to basically tell him, basically to reassure him, even though he knows that sleep is going to have to disappear. He's begging sleep to tell him, "Say that you will stay, even if you won't." Like, he's like basically saying like, "I know you can't stay, but at least just give me the reassurance that I want." Like, so it's really sad. The chorus is where it talks about this. He says, "Won't you say that you will? Let the impulse to love and the instinct to kill entangle to one. In this light you are mine, till the sweat turns to blood. Won't you say that you will, even if you won't?" So yeah, it's pretty sad. Sound-wise, this song is like a lot of like piano and like kind of like orchestra instruments. It's really soft, quiet sounding. And it kind of like does that throughout the song until the very end where the riff comes in, and it's not super heavy, but it has like that kind of low tuned guitar kind of vibe going on. And while this happens, and it also has this really weird time signature, and I don't even know what the fuck it is, but it's really like offbeat. It's kind of hard to headbang to. But eventually he comes back in, and one of my favorite lyrics in the song, because it makes me really sad, like when I like read it and I think about it, I relate to it a lot, is where he says, "You've got me up in a frenzy again. I know you're planning to leave in the end." That one really like, gets me. And at the end of the song, it's literally just him repeating the phrase, "You've got me up in a frenzy again. You've got me up in a frenzy again. You've got me up in a frenzy again." So yeah, this one is really just him like explaining his anguish, kind of. But it's a really cool song. Made me sad when I first listened to it. This next one makes me fucking cry. This next song is called "Drag Me Under." And this one is kind of basically like him comparing sleep disappearing to, he's likening it to the death of like a loved one, essentially. And yeah, this song is really soft. This one is entirely just piano. It's just a piano ballad. It's really, really calm. All falsetto vocals and shit like that. Rest in peace. Woo! Let's get the shit in. What the fuck? There we go. Okay. So the opening verse says, "I know the angels tonight are as lost for words as I am, to merely behold you as we lie down together." So basically he's like saying like even the angels can see how like upset I am. Like you can see how distraught and how much I miss you from far away, basically. Like anyone can tell like that dude is upset, he's sad. And the chorus says, "Drag me under again, deep into your love." So he's like saying, like he's begging sleep to like come back and drag him under into the void of like being asleep. He also says, "And I know the gods will abandon the heavens just to find us, to merely behold you as we lie down together." So yeah, the lyrics in this one are a lot like simpler, but that's the gist of it. He's begging sleep to come back, basically. So I guess at the end of this one, thinking about the next track too, lyrically, the end of this album is kind of representing like, oh, I guess in a way that Sleep has seen his rebellion and basically taken Vessel's, I guess, rebellion as like a hint that he doesn't care about him anymore. So Sleep starts to fade away from him a little bit and disappear, and he doesn't come back. Cough, cough, the next album. So, yeah.
Cut.
It makes me upset.
Go.
Okay. So, yeah, that's the end of Drag Me Under. We have one more song, folks. The last song on this album is called Bloodsport. The song fucks. This one also starts off with, like, just piano. And it's just very soft, and, eventually, like, piano kind of gets a little bit more, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it changes, like, it changes from the initial, like, rhythm to a different kind of rhythm, and eventually it builds up, the drums were introduced, and then towards the end there's this really cool riff that plays, and the last chorus, and then the very end there's like a kind of a breakdown, but he sings over the breakdown instead of like screaming or anything, and it's really cool. Instrumentally this one isn't too like noteworthy, but the lyrics are really cool. The opening paragraph says, "I want to roll the numbers. I want to feel my stars align again. Even if the earth breaks like burnt skin and the heavens just won't open up for me. Would you invite me in again? Won't you pay for your arrogance? Won't you show me your weakness?" So, this once again is like Vessel, like really begging like Sleep to come back, and he says the heavens just won't open up for him, because now I liken it to basically him going to sleep and Sleep isn't there anymore. He has abandoned him, essentially. And so he's saying the heavens won't open up for him anymore. Like how at the beginning of the album, we talked about the night coming down like heaven. This is now, heaven is gone for him. There's nothing left for him because Sleep is gone. So, yeah. And the chorus, he repeats the word, he said, "I made loving you a blood sport," over and over again. And he says, "I made loving you a blood sport, I made loving you a blood sport, I made loving you a blood sport." And then he says, "I can't win." And he basically now admits here at the end of everything that he knew this whole time that this wasn't going to go anywhere, but he had to see for himself, and now that he's here at the end, he regrets it, like deeply regrets it. Because he made loving sleep a blood sport. He made it something that hurt him so badly, so deeply, that there's no coming back from it. So, and then at the end of the chorus he says, "So let's play." Pretty cool. And then the lyrics from here, he says, in verse 2, he says, "Somewhere the atoms stopped fusing. I'm still your favorite regret. You're still my weapon of choosing. And out there, stuck in a quantum pattern, tangled with what I never said, you say it doesn't matter." And then this second part is really cool too. He says, "I want to be forgiven. I want to choke up chunks of my own sins, even if the sky cracks in mourning and the heavens just won't open up for me." So he also at one point says, he says, "Let me pay for my arrogance," which is him admitting, like, I know that I made mistakes too, and that I want to come back, and I will give myself to you again if you just come back. Like, please come back, and I will give myself to you again, and I won't, like, go against you ever again. And
Ooh.
yeah, it's really sad. He's like really doing everything he can to like beg for sleep to come back. That's why he literally straight up says, "I want to be forgiven." He says, "I want to choke up chunks of my own sins." He wants to literally choke on all the mistakes that he personally thinks that he made throughout their relationship. And then the beginning, that first part, he says, "Somewhere the atoms stopped fusing," which is him like kind of like saying like at some point me and you like started to fall apart and give up on each other. And he says, "I'm still your favorite regret. You're still my weapon of choosing." And I'm not exactly sure like how to interpret that. I guess like Sleep realized that like Vessel was like a lost cause, and like that's why he gave up on him. But Sleep is still his weapon of choosing. So it's kind of like how earlier we likened Sleep to like a force rather than a literal deity, and he's saying like, I needed you to make me okay. I needed the things that you gave me to make me okay. Even though I'm your favorite, I am your regret, I will always pick you over anyone. Like you, I love. Like he's like admitting his love for him and saying like, I will pick you always. Like you're mine. Yeah, and then he kind of repeats a lot of the lyrics over again. But yeah, this is the end of the album, and it's really sad because at the very end of the song, when it's just like piano at the end, you can actually hear, if you listen really closely, you can hear Vessel crying in the background. And it's really sad. It's really, really sad. And then that's the end of the album. So
damn,
Sleep is gone. Yeah. So yeah, Sleep was basically like, okay, you want to fuck with me? Okay, bye. Goes. So yeah, that's Sundowning. Fucking dope ass album. So something cool that happened too is, okay, so we're done with 2019 now. We're in 2020 here. We see this Sundowning from the Room Below. So they couldn't tour or anything, obviously, because it was 2020. So there was no touring or anything they could do. They also didn't like make any music or anything like that. But so they put out a deluxe version of Sundowning, and this deluxe version has 4. Oh my god, wait. I totally just realized I missed something like really early on, so I'll just talk about it here because it kind of coincides. So this deluxe version has 4 tracks on the end of the album that are added called From the Room Below. And this is basically, these 4 tracks are literally Vessel in a room singing these songs and playing them on piano all in one take without stopping. So it's completely acoustic and everything like that. There's literally no drums, no guitar. It's just him and a piano in a room. And so...
Is the audio, like, clean?
What do you mean?
Does it sound like they recorded it in a studio, or is it kind of, like, rough around the edges and kind of grainy?
It's the actual, like, recording is fine, but, like, you can tell from listening to his voice, like, there are little imperfections you hear here and there, and, like, it's all kept in, like, and it's, yeah, because you can tell it's all taken, it's all in one take, because there's also, like, literal proof, because, for this one, oh my god, I totally just realized I missed something else that I talked about.
Keep going.
Yeah, fuck it. There was a music video for Nazareth. It's not that important. It's literally just a video of like a bug, but whatever. You can look it up. I'm dead ass. That's what it is. It's literally just like a black and white footage of this bug. That's the only thing.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Of course, you would like the black and white.
Yeah, you like black and white beetles. It's a little beetle like crawling around on a leaf. But so for this one, they released like kind of a music video, but they released like a live video of him sitting in this room playing. So okay, there's 4 tracks, right? So you have Bloodsport from the room below, which is an entirely piano rendition of Bloodsport, the song we just listened to, and then you have Shelter, which is a brand new song, but it's all piano. I'll actually have to read the lyrics to that one too. And then there's 2 cover songs that they did. One is of When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish, and the other one is a cover of I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. So there's that.
Shit, Whitney Houston.
Yeah. I actually, the first time I listened to it, going into it, I was like, okay, this is a Whitney Houston song. This will be interesting. And I realized that it's a song that plays in my work all the fucking time, and I was like,
oh yeah.
Are you
PTSD.
going to talk about the other cover he did?
Huh?
Are you going to talk about the other cover they did?
Yeah! So I totally forgot to talk about something. It was this one thing that they put, it was a song that they put out in between the 2 EP, and I forget exactly which year it was it came out, but they did a cover of Hey Ya by Outkast.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and once again, this song is also just like it's just piano.
It's just sad, hey ya.
Yeah, it's literally, that's what it is. No, literally, that's what it is. It's literally, so the whole point of Hey Ya by Outkast is that it's the really fucked up lyrics juxtaposed with the super happy, like upbeat instrumental. This is what Hey Ya should be, in a sense. It's literally just piano and sad, and the key's different, and it's also slower too. And dude, it's great. Please listen to the Hey Ya cover. It's so good.
I will listen to it.
It's fucking fantastic. It's so depressing. Yeah, if you never noticed the lyrics until now, you'll notice it here. When you hear the words "Thank God for Mom and Dad" like crooned by a really sad British man, yeah, it just hits different. Thank God for Mom and Dad.
Does he do the whole thing? Is like, all right now, ladies, and then does he do that?
No.
No!
Unfortunately.
What's cooler than being cool? Ice cold!
But he's like,
See, get it?
But that would
Because
be
he's
really
ice
funny.
cold. He's not reacting to
So that would be
anything.
really funny to hear Vessel fucking sing that.
Yeah, that would be
It'd
weird.
be so out of fucking
Shake it.
character.
No. Imagine if they took it like really seriously for no reason.
Shake
Is his
it, shake it
accent
like a
noticeable in any of
Polaroid
his songs? He's
picture.
British.
Huh?
Is his accent noticeable in any of his songs?
Oh, I think yeah, you weren't here when I talked about that, but
Yeah,
yes,
no.
yes.
Oh my god, really?
So,
It
like,
works
okay, do
so
you know?
Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take this seriously. Then
Do you know?
To it.
No, but it's not like a weird, cringy way.
You know, like Bastille?
Yeah, it
Bastille,
really
and
you
the
know,
walls
Sam
and
Smith.
stuff like that.
Do you know Hosier?
imagine
No,
walking up to a
I've
British
heard of
person,
them,
you like
but
sound
I really
cringy.
only.
That's just
It's like that.
This is why British people hate
It's like,
America.
yeah, it's...
Yeah, but he has like a thick British accent, but it's not like
It's
weird.
not bad.
You listen to it and it's really jarring because of the genre that like you go into it thinking it's gonna be like generic white boy voice, but then it's
Generic
like
white
he has this really deep like
And
British
then
like
it's
accent.
2D for
Okay.
gorillas.
Sure. But yeah, so Hey Ya cover. Also, I don't feel like reading the fucking lyrics to that one. They had the one original song. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about. They put out a music video for Bloodsport, right? The From the Room Below version. And it is it's literally just a video with different camera shots of him playing the song on piano in this room. And he has the version of the mask where it's the mouth is showing rather than this one. And you can kind of like he kind of like moves his head and like sings a little bit. The part that like gets me is at the end. You don't actually hear it this time in this version, but you literally as the camera like goes to black, like as it like fades to black, you literally watch him like it's really cool because at the end after the actual song is done, he plays like a little extra like piano lick that isn't in the original. As he stops and it goes to black, you watch him put his head down like this, and like you know that he's like upset, like because he's got his like head shut in like this, and it's like, oh my god, I want to hug you. It's so sad. Like,
Cut.
We're over here now, I guess. Sleep token.
Jackson, I'll hold it.
Oh, okay, that works. Okay, so sleep token. So where was I? Okay, so Yeah, so they do that cover of Bloodsport, and he was crying and blah blah blah. So there's also the one song on the From the Room Below part of the Deluxe edition where it's called Shelter. It's a brand new song, completely acoustic, and this one is really easy to understand. It's kind of like him talking about sleep again, but it's like he said the chorus. He says, "No matter the cost of rain, I will shelter you all the same." So it's very very easily interpreted as just being like, no matter what, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to like shelter sleep, and I'm going to like keep you in me, my brain, and remember you always. I don't know where that's supposed to like take place like story wise, but yeah, that's just what he's saying. But yeah, so there's that. After this, so that was 2020. We're now in 2021. Life is good, more or less. So yeah, 2021. So out of fucking nowhere. So this is actually really funny because when I got into Sleep Token, I just got into them this past year. It hasn't been a year since I've like discovered them. They had literally just come. I got into them like a week after they put out one of their new songs in 2021, and they put out a song. Vaughn, what do you think? What song did they put out?
I believe it's a song called Alkaline.
Yeah!
Oh, like an alkaline metal?
Yes,
Yeah.
except, she's not acid nor alkaline. Caught between black and white. Not quite either day or night. She's perfectly misaligned. Anyways, so... like the fucking twins. So yeah, they put out a new song at this point in time called Alkaline. This album that they're about to put out, it's called This Place Will Become Your Tomb. This album did not get the same kind of release schedule like Sundowning did, where they released one song like every like week. This album got like a normal release schedule where you release a couple singles and the album comes out. So this one, they had like more time to like kind of construct an actual like narrative for this album rather than it being like a collection of songs, although somehow they managed to create a narrative with the last one that I discovered. So yeah. This album focuses a lot less lyrically on sleep and more so on a relationship that Bessel has with someone. And the reason why I interpret it this way is because, so in that interview that we talked about a while ago, they refer to sleep as a he. In this album, Bessel starts talking about a she. So, I don't know if that's important, but I'm going to take it that way because it's just a theory, a game theory.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Wasn't Vessel also referring to a she earlier? Like we were.
Yeah, but that was
a girl.
Nazareth.
Yeah.
And Jaws, and those were the songs where it's not about sleep. It's more so about a personal
So
relationship.
this isn't about sleep, right? Or this might be about sleep.
Sleep is connected to the songs in certain ways that you can see, but for the most part, it's more about like how he deals with this relationship that he has in the real world compared to how he feels when he's asleep.
Oh, so he's being a person. He's touching grass.
Yeah, he's touching grass. Yeah. That's the way I interpret it, at least. It's in this case, it's less like touching grass and more like drowning forever.
In grass?
Yeah, no, in water. Deep water. Because what?
So has sleep like returned after Bloodsport? Because in Bloodsport he kind of like stopped coming to the vessel.
In pieces, not like fully, but in pieces, kind of. So the theme with this album is typical metalcore trope: water,
Hell yeah.
and drowning, and the undertow.
Whoa. Daring
Famously.
So yeah, that's the whole point of like saying that this place will become your tomb, is that basically, it uses water and like how like the ocean and how deep it is as like a kind of like a what's the word? An analogy, a sense, yeah, or a metaphor, whatever you want to call it, to describe like Vessel's like descent into this relationship and how it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper and blah blah blah. And on the album, each song is given a measurement in feet and a set of coordinates. I don't know what the fuck the point of those are, but someone somewhere is figuring that out as we speak. Like what the connection is for these coordinates and the songs and shit. So who knows? I don't know, but someone probably will figure that out soon. My nose is really itchy.
They're probably the coordinates for the Middle Eastern cities and the other.
That would be cool. Except there's 12 songs in this album and there was 3 cities. So I don't know, but
It's just doxing random people.
I guess. Fuck them up. Yeah, but so you only it's only there on like the back of the physical release of the album.
I think they also put it like on their Instagram when they were.
They did. So yeah, up until like the actual release of the album, like 12 days before, they started releasing snippets of each song on their Instagram, and they showed the feet measurements and the
I don't know if they showed the coordinates. I know they.
Or not. Maybe it's not feet. Maybe it's kilometers. But
I think
the measurement and then the coordinates like on their Instagram. What?
I can look it up right now.
Oh, okay. But so, excuse me. Yeah, they did that. And we don't know what it means, but it's cool.
Sleep token ARG?
Maybe, perhaps, maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, the whole point is like we're going deeper. That's the theme with this album. We're going deeper. There's also a lot more like the sounds on this album are a lot less like weird and all over the place. It's pretty consistent with this one.
I don't know if it's meters or miles, but like
Miles,
it's there.
kilometers.
I think it's meters.
If
Yeah.
it's just M, then it's probably meters.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's meters. It's in meters. So yeah. And it's basically saying like with each song we go deeper in this shit. Where's my bag?
Let's get this shit.
Let's get this shit.
Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning.
Hold on.
We switch it.
Let's get this shit.
So let's do it. So yeah, the first single from this album was a song called Alkaline, and this one, I haven't really delved super deep into like what each one of these mean, but I do know what this one means, so I'll talk about it. In addition to the meters measurements and the coordinates with each song, there's also a different type of fish that is, like a drawing of a fish that's given for each one, and supposedly what each fish is tied to the lyrics in some way, which is really fucking
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah, like what the fish does, like as a fish, is tied to the lyrics in some way. So, I didn't do enough research, but I don't know really what each one of these are, but I do know what this worst one is. So, okay, Alkaline, right?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's on the Instagram because it has the lyrics to it.
Give me 1 sec while I navigate to the thing here. Here we go. Okay. So, here we go. So, the lyrics in this one, it's kind of weird because I'm talking about this out of order, but it's whatever. The first verse opens with Vessel saying, "Every once in a while, something changes, and she's changing me. It's too late for me now. I am altered. There is something beneath." And the chorus comes in and he says, "She's not acid nor alkaline, caught between black and white, not quite either day or night. She's perfectly misaligned. I'm caught up in her design and how it connects to mine. I see in a different light the object of my desire." So, yeah, he's basically explaining how even though this person is like imperfect, how like perfectly imperfect she is. And how, like, he wants to take all of her flaws and everything and just absorb it into him. So the whole purpose of this is that, it's true. The second verse of this is sexy as fuck, by the way. Vessel's hot. He says, "Ooh, let's talk about chemistry. 'Cause I'm dying to melt through to the heart of her molecules, till the particles part like holy water. If anything, she's an undiscovered element, either born in hell or heaven sent. Either way, I'm into it." Yeah. So it's he's just that whole part, because that's also so the way the composition of the song is like a more typical Sundowning song, except instead of the guitars coming in at the end, there's like a brief intro part where he sings the chorus and stuff like that, and it's like these synths, and then that was the song we were playing earlier. Yeah. This hip hop beat comes in, and it's like, cool, I like trap music. And then they were like, no, never mind, forget about that. And then they bring in guitar, and it's like, oh, fucking like, it's actually less like a gent riff, and this one is more like a regular kind of like a heavy metal riff where it's like dun 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 dun, kind of like that, but a little bit lower tuned. And that's the part where he talks about chemistry. Yeah. Because he's dying to melt through. And It's just really hot. It's just something about it that just does it speaks to me. It's just really cool with the position, the hard, like the really heavy like metal riff with his like super like soft like vocals like over top of it just really mixes well somehow. Like the tonality shift is like, it's just nice. And then it goes into like a more melodic riff, and then the end of the song is like the same riff over again, but without like any sort of vocals over it besides like some very like quiet like whoa-ohs in the background, like in the background. And also, if you listen really carefully, you can hear Vessel maniacally laughing in the background. Don't know why they did that, but that's cool.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, you're literally like laughing like a villain in the background. The whole point is that like, so the cover for the single for this one, the fish, is it's an anglerfish, which is those fuckers that are in the deep and they have like the light on the one from Nemo where it's like really, yeah, it's scary looking. Yeah, that one. So apparently the way that it works is that anglerfish do this thing where they mate with each other, right? And the female...
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
The female anglerfish literally absorbs the male into her body and, like, she literally, like, swallows him and they become one fish.
Uh-oh.
And they also, like, share organs and shit. Like, they're both still alive.
Uh-oh.
But, like, yeah. So, basically, they share organs and they share, like, bloodstreams and shit. So, this whole song is kind of, like, comparing their love to that, where she is literally changing his anatomy and like switching him around and shit and changing him to be completely different.
Dude,
normal.
You're not even lying. They literally fuse together.
That's literally what they do.
Their skins
Fucking
join together,
just
and so
skates.
do their blood vessels,
What are
which
you saying,
allows the male.
It sounds like this guy's model for love is taught to him from sleep, and he can't get out of that like cycle of relationships, and when he moves into a new one, the trauma of that still carries over and is ruining his future.
Yes. That's literally what happens.
Yes.
Anyways. Good job, Tyler. Oh. That's not sarcasm either. That good job. But yeah, so the whole point is like basically like she's literally absorbing him into her. Not literally, but you know what I mean, like fusion. It's comparing their love to like how anglerfish mate and shit. It's spooky. But that's also like why in the chorus, not the chorus, but the second verse, he's like, let's talk about chemistry. He's like, yeah, subconsciously I'm telling you all about how anglerfish fuck. And that's also the part where he says, I'm dying to melt through to the heart of her molecules and the particles part like holy water. He's literally talking about how they fuse together and shit. It's fucking cool. But yeah, so yeah, that's what the song's about. It's about like how like she's changing him, whether it's for the better or for the worse, it's whatever. But she's changing him. That's the important part of all this. Yeah, this song fucks. I love this song. Is there anything else I have to say about it? Oh yeah, there's a music video. Well, it's weirdly enough, there was no music videos at all for any of the songs on Sundowning. I don't know why.
Well, you said there was one for the last one on the...
There was, but that's for an acoustic song off the Deluxe edition, and it's literally just him singing or... Oh, fuck. There's music videos for Jaws and The Way That You Were that I didn't talk about, but whatever, it's fine.
It's whatever.
Jaws is these two women, like, in a bed, and they're, like, making love, and then they start, like, bleeding until they're, like, dead, and... Yeah, and then The Way That You Were is literally this girl in a church, and then the camera pans, and Bessel's behind her in a pew, in his full like makeup and gown and shit, and he's just singing to her in the pew, and she's just like, like what the fuck? Yeah, it's really funny, but yeah, whatever. I forgot to talk about that. But so there's a music video for Alkaline. This is the most anime shit, by the way.
That's cool.
We find out that somehow this motherfucker has like superpowers. I don't know if it's supposed to be symbolism or if this dude literally has like superpowers that sleep gave him. I don't know. But so basically the video is you see Vessel and he's wearing this mask. I guess that means he's being business or some shit. I don't know. But he's sitting in this room by himself, and it pans through the different rooms, and you realize it's like an abandoned house or mansion of sorts, and it shows literally these like dudes and like with guns and like
like armored suits like coming in, right? And I guess they're like looking for him. And as they're like moving through, and like as the song builds up and the guitar starts coming, you see these like weird vines, like kind of like writhing through the place, and they're like really long, and they're like growing and growing, and they're following these guards, and they don't notice. At first I thought it was a fucking spider. I was terrified, but it's not. It's plants.
Wasn't there vine imagery earlier? Am I crazy?
You might be.
I don't remember if there was. I don't think there was.
Didn't Sleep abandon him? Like
yes, in the end of the last album, that's what I kind of theorize it as. But I don't know.
Gotcha.
The whole
Okay,
point is
but
I don't think
he's still
Sleep
wearing the
ever
mask.
truly like leaves Vessel. It's just at that point to like kind of, I guess in a way, like get back at him for rebelling against him. He basically deprived him
Left him in the
of
dark
sleep.
for a while.
But
Gotcha,
Vessel
so-
still worships sleep.
Yes, got it.
Because Vessel's a dumbass, I guess. Anyways,
Simp.
Simp. So in this music video,
Squirrels in my hand.
yeah, so they're looking. Eventually, by the end of the song, they actually, in the very last breakdown part, they bust into the room and they have guns and shit. And I shit you not, you see like Vessel like moving his hands and shit everywhere, and you see like the vines like encroaching on the guards and shit. This one dude busts in and starts blasting Vessel like with this gun. Except, this is JoJo and it doesn't work. So, Vessel, deadass, throws his hand up like this, and the bullets just stop in front of him, and he just throws them down on the ground with telekinesis, and then grabs the guard, like, with telekinesis, and slams him down on the fucking ground. It's wild. Was there a purpose to turning that off?
Emphasizing dramatic emphasis.
Fuck it. But yeah, so he fucking drops this dude, right? And then another dude bursts in on the other side of the room, and Vessel literally grabs him and breaks his neck. Like, and then like slams him down, and the vines come in and they grab his body and like yank him out of the room and shit. So yeah, basically Vessel somehow has like powers, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Is this like animated or live action?
This is live action.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What is this, like studio quality?
It's really nice. It's a good video. Like, the vines are like animated with like stop motion, but like, and so it looks a little bit worse. But like overall, the whole video is like really cool. Like there's some CGI with like, because when the bullets like come at him and they stop in front of him, it looks like there's like a force field, and they just kind of like stop and then fall. So it's whatever. But it's a nice music video. Like it's a real. I'm actually surprised for how small of a band they are. Like that they have that much production quality.
So Vessel's an SCP now. Got it.
Yeah. Vessel's being hunted by the SCP Foundation. So yeah, Vessel's a badass. And that's the end of that video. I don't know why the music video is like that, with considering the lyrical content, and they're very different. But
let's just make a dope ass video. Fuck it.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Lore's weird. Sleep Token has really weird lore. There's literally nothing confirmed. They don't ever talk about anything other than like, we worship sleep, and that's basically it. So a lot of this is like me just kind of coming up with my own conclusions. But so after this, a couple months pass, and they release another single, and this song is called "The Love You Want." It's not on there.
Have we gotten to this place we'll be coming to?
This is the album that's coming, but I'm talking about the singles that came out first.
Okay.
Prior to this. So, "The Love You Want," and this one also gets a music video. "The Love You Want" is an interesting song. So this one also, it starts off like a normal Sleep Token song where it's like synthy and shit. But they kind of like do like it builds up into like a drum part with some piano and shit. The second chorus is really cool because it has like in addition to Vessel singing with like synths and shit behind him, it also has this drum beat where it's like, it's not like actual drums, but it's like a boom, clap, boom, boom, clap. It kind of beat, like it's literally like clapping. And yeah, so that plays, and then at the very end it like builds up to really cool riff time. It's like a melodic riff, and then it breaks in to like genty, like low tune kind of riff. Fuck me. So yeah, I actually really I wasn't a big fan of the song when it first came out, but I've like slowly like fell in love with it. "The Love You Want." Lol, LMAO, Rafflecopter. Ow. But yeah, so, and then lyric wise, if I can navigate to it, this song, it's actually funny too, because on the album all of these songs are like grouped together. It's really interesting.
As for the fish on this one, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's a fish.
It's a fish.
Yeah, like I said, I unfortunately don't know like the correlation between the fishes on these other two singles or any of them. I don't know any of them besides Alkaline, but you know, if anyone else wants to go. Some of this I don't know. So like the whole point is like you need to go. If you're a fan of Sleep Token, go and do the work for me, please. I need a new lore to read. But yeah. So lyric wise. This song starts off, the first verse, it says, "You lie an inch apart on your own continuum. Now keep the freak show talk to a careful minimum. I'll find a different harbor to lay my anchor in, and you'll find a different way to keep from setting sail again." So, I think this song kind of, like, the way I interpret it is like, like, they've kind of, him and this person he's with have kind of drifted apart a little bit. And basically, he's saying that even no matter where you go or what happens, and even if you fall in love with someone else, I'll still be here and I'll have the love that you want. I'm the one that you should care about. Like, no matter what happens, what?
This is so clearly him taking out his trauma that Sleep inflicted upon him onto other people.
Yeah. Like, it's that, like, toxicity being like, no matter what, like, I'm the best kind of thing. So yeah, just saying like no matter what, I'm always going to be here. But yeah, the chorus says, "I'm still full of the love you want, still waking up beneath it all. I'm still full of the love you want. I reach for you on faith alone." I also think, I actually am not sure if this album's really iffy. I think they're really starting to blur the line between whether or not they're talking about like someone in real life or if they're talking about Sleep. You kind of can interpret it either way. But yeah, it can kind of be looked at as like a relationship that he has with someone, or him talking about Sleep and being like, no matter what, even if you've abandoned me, Sleep, I am still full of the love that you want, and I'm still going to worship you no matter what. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. This second verse is really cool too, where it says, "Seems your heart is locked up, and I still get the combination wrong. Are you simply waiting to save your love for someone I am not? Too many swallowed keys will make you bleed internally someday. Maybe you believe that in the end, you will be better off that way." So, this is like him, like, making note of the fact that, like, this person that he's talking about, like, genuinely could possibly, like maybe he's done something really wrong, like, hurts them, to the point where they genuinely think that, like, being in severe pain would be worse, would be better than being with Vessel. Like, they would do anything to not be with Vessel. And in spite of that, Vessel is still holding out hope for this person and saying, "I will always be here for you, even if you literally fucking despise me." So, he's kind of weird. He's kind of creepy, but that's the whole idea behind worshiping, because you're supposed to be, it's supposed to be unconditional love. You worship it. So yeah. Sleep Token is toxic.
Problematic fave.
Problematic, just a little bit.
Problematic fave though, we love him.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Cotton Candy Bang is the shit, by the way. This is good shit. Anyways, I like how the description on the Genius says, "This track is pushing Sleep Token's sound beyond what we have previously known." Like, what the fuck? They just do what they normally do. It's just that good. But yeah, so that's The Love You Want. And the music video for this, I've only watched it once, but if I remember it correctly, it kind of is like Sleep. It's fuck me. It's Vessel in this like place, and there's like these girls with like, and they're like dancing and stuff. I don't remember all that well, but it's something like that. I think it's the same kind of thing where they were like, let's just make a cool video. I don't think the music videos are really meant to like tie into the actual lore. Or maybe they are, and I'm just too stupid to realize it. This shit's real deep. Who knows? But yeah, it's like people dancing. It's cool though. The next song is probably the weirdest song that they've ever made. Vaughn doesn't like it.
What?
What?
I started falling asleep.
Oh,
is it
Y'all said I started falling asleep. That's funny.
Which one was it? Fall for Me?
How did he know what he knew? What just happened?
Drop the thing.
Okay. So, yeah, this next single they released was actually the final single, and if you ask me personally, I think it was kind of a bad choice. It was a bad choice as a single. It's a fantastic song, but it was not a good choice as a single, because it is literally a 2-minute a cappella song.
And it sounds completely different from the rest of the album.
Yeah, this is their weird song, the weird experimental song, kind of. And Yeah, as a single, it was a bad choice in my opinion, but I'm still okay with it because it's so fucking good. But yeah, like I said, it is literally, it's technically not true a cappella, because there's a synth line that comes in at the end of the song. It's really quiet, and you have to literally, like, put the phone to your fucking ear to hear it, but it's there.
And also his voice is in, like, auto-tune.
Yeah, so have you guys ever listened to Imogen Heat?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's that. He
Got
does it, the thing where it's his voice, and then it have, like, the robot voice at the same time.
Oh, the vocoded stuff.
Thank you, that's what it's called, vocoded, yeah. So, yeah, that's the whole song is him singing with this vocoder on, and it's mostly just a cappella.
I love that stuff.
That's what I'm saying, you should go listen to it, it's so good. Because I think a lot of people just don't like it because it's so weird and it's different, and that's fine, like, I understand that. But I think it's fantastic, because even though it's vocoded, it sounds super emotional and super just passionate in a way, I guess, and because there's also literally a part where Russell doesn't scream, but he like sings like at the top of his lungs, like super loud, out of nowhere, and it's really weird because there's no drums or guitars or anything besides just his voice, so it's literally like him screaming into the void, kind of. So the whole point of this song is like it's also the shortest song they've ever like released. The longest they've ever released was When the Bow Breaks. That song's like 7.5 minutes long. This one's like 2.5, I think, somewhere around there. But so, lyric-wise, this song is it's him talking about this person again, and this one's a little bit weird. I really like it, but it's a little bit weird. It's like, I think it's kind of him like talking about to this person about sleep, and basically saying like, even though I'm I'm obsessed with this deity, and I love being asleep, you are here and you make me want to wake up, even though I also love being asleep, and that even though I do love this deity, I love you too, kind of thing. That's the way I interpret it. The opening paragraph says, "In a city of ice, there are burning cathedrals, turning the skies into glass, and through echoing futures, over buckling sutures that hold shut the wounds of the past."
That sounds like a straight-up poem.
It's so fucking good! The chorus says, "So won't you fall for me, won't you fall for me? Through a fractured existence, won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me, from reality to the rhythm of eternity, won't you fall for me?" So he's kind of like saying, like, I know that I'm like really hard to be with because I'm kind of obsessed with like sleeping and shit, but like, can you like stay, and will you put as much effort into loving me as I am putting my effort into loving you? Will you put the same amount of effort into me? It's a little bit toxic, but but yeah, it's really pretty. The really cool part of this song though is the part where he like screams, and this is also like talking with him about how he has these nightmares that sleep gives him, and he talks about how he wished his lover was there with him. You okay?
Yeah.
He wishes that his like lover was there with him. And because there's literally, so this second verse he says, "My insecurities surround me like lions in the den, and I feel like I'm losing touch with what I am again. Slowly, I remember why I cannot pretend that I never think of you in all this screaming silence." Screaming silence referring to the cacophony of shit in his head that happens when he's asleep. And then immediately after this verse, he screams the words, "Oh God, I wish you were here." It's crazy. It's the only part of the song where the vocoder isn't there. So it makes it sound like super raw and like upset, like he's like really sad, like he desperately misses his lover and wishes that they could be there with him while he's asleep. And yeah, so yeah, this is just a 2-minute like acapella love song. It's really pretty though. I love it a lot. Makes me cry when I listen to it. It's a really good song. So that is the last single that they released for the album, and then the album came out in, I believe, September of last year?
I think so.
Yeah, September of last year, I want to say, is when it came out.
Cut. Alright.
So, yeah, it came out September of last year, and... Pardonnez-moi. It was a burp, it wouldn't come out.
That was a very melodic burp.
Thank you. There it is. Okay, so... sorry. So, yeah, so that's the last single, and then the album came out in September. So now we're going to talk about the rest of the album. I'll just, skip over it. I can actually literally just skip over it, because it's really convenient, because all three of those songs I just talked about are all grouped together, so I can just skip over them to the next ones.
Yeah, it came out September 24th.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So now we're here. The release of This Place Will Become Your Tomb. Track 1, Atlantic.
This is like one of my favorite songs from the album.
This song makes me cry like a baby. Like more than like there's a lot of songs in my life that have made me like emotional, but this shit makes me like it makes me feel emotional, but it also I don't know how to describe it. There's like certain songs that make me like want to cry and mosh at the same time, and it's like one of these ones where it's like I'm like bawling my eyes out, but it's like I'm gonna punch your ass. So this song is called Atlantic, and so now thematically we are at the top, the beginning. We are the highest up that we can be, and let's see. Opening paragraph says, "Call me when they bury bodies underwater. It's blue light over murder for me. Crumble like a temple built from future daughters to wasteland when the oceans recede. Marry in the morning, earn your bitter father. It's easier to try not to eat. So flood me like Atlantic, bandage up the trenches, anything to get me to sleep." So, the way I've seen people interpret this song is that at the beginning of this album, Vessel attempts suicide. And this is because I saw, and my other friend was talking to me about this, and basically, like, for example, like how he killed that person in the song Nazareth. I guess, in a way, maybe he's done this multiple times to people who don't follow sleep, essentially. So he's basically, because there's also a line in this where he says, "So flood me like Atlantic, weather me to nothing, wash away the blood on my hands." And he's basically like trying to erase himself because he knows that he has brought so much hurt into the world. I'm guessing that sleep keeps him alive somehow. Not sure, it's not really explained. But yeah, more or less, we're dealing with Vessel in his head contemplating suicide, essentially. Music-wise, it's a piano ballad again. And it stays a piano ballad throughout the whole thing until, like, halfway through some electronics come in, and this man goes, "Oh," and it, like, there's, like, fucking, like, really dark, like, electronics, and he's doing, like, falsetto vocals and shit, and he's like, "Ah!" It's cool. And then out of nowhere, this fucking, like, chug-chug riff comes in, and it's super, like, melodic. It's got, like, that low-tuned kind of feel to it, like the riff from The Offering. And he re-sings the words like, "Call me when they bury bodies underwater. It's blue light over murder for me." So, yeah. Basically, that's how it goes. And then in the ending, it goes back to just piano, and he repeats the words, "Don't wake me, don't wake me, don't wake me up." So he's like saying, like, when I'm awake, I do bad things, keep me asleep. Don't, like, I don't need your help, keep me asleep so I can't do anything. So, yeah, that's Atlantic. It's a really cool song. It's such a good intro to this album. It's fantastic. Yes. Vaughn. Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned that Jaws was sampled again in a later song.
We're like way later.
Way later, okay.
Way later.
I didn't know what song it was, so I just remembered it.
Yeah, it's way later. That's actually something I was going to talk about too. A lot of the songs on this one kind of mirror elements from past songs that they've done. I'm not sure if that connects thematically or if it's just a coincidence. But, because they don't literally take things from the songs, but they take the one that samples Jaws is just straight, that's the synth line. You can't tell me that that's not the synth line from Jaws. But a lot of these, I think, are, like, kind of, like, structured the same way as other songs, and they may or may not, like, be, like, they may or not have done that on purpose, I don't know, but it's the way it is, which is why I'm going to talk about it in the next song that comes up, Hypnosis. Good soup, yeah. The song fucks. This is a song structured very similarly to the song The Offering, and that it gets right into the shit. It like there's like kind of like a tiny like clean guitar riff at the beginning, and then it just sinks right into a heavy ass guitar riff. And what it does is it goes back and forth between this heavy guitar part and then these parts where it goes to like the clean guitar part with the drums. And Vessel barely says like words on this song. He's just kind of like says words, and he like sings them out Like, there's not a whole lot of, like, real lyrics. It's just kind of like him saying, like, words. They're like commands, kind of. But so, I gotta... Okay. So the opening paragraph to this says, Lift, oh lift me out of my own skin, of all my doubt. Oh, and take from me. Leave nothing left, take everything. And I think this song is also, I think the lyrics in this one kind of mirror those in the offering, in that he's giving himself to sleep again, essentially. Which kind of like, I guess, like ties in from him going to sleep in Atlantic. So now he's like giving himself to sleep again. Sink your teeth, split my skin, just make me bleed, and give me all that I want, just give me all. So he's like demanding that like sleep give him the shit that was promised to him, essentially.
Fuck yeah.
I forgot there was the ass blanket over there. It was jarring to me. So yeah, just give me all. And then he says, you know you hypnotize me always, like over and over again. So he's like saying, like, he's describing this sleep that he's in as like a hypnosis state that sleep puts him in, essentially, which is really cool. That's kind of like how sleep works in general, is that you're being put to sleep and you can't get out of it until like the sleep takes its hold of you off. And like, that's spooky. It's like literally like hypnosis.
I've been thinking throughout this, there's something demonic about when, like, you're really tired and it feels so good to feel that wave of sleep coming over you.
Yes.
I just kind of feel like possession and envelopment.
Yes. Yeah. It's literally like, it's like the void consuming you. That's how I always thought.
Which is why the ocean is a good theme for this.
Yes, because you're literally going deeper and deeper and deeper. It's so cool. I actually write a lot of songs about this. Like, the feeling of falling asleep to me is like really scary, because I fucking hate sleeping, ironically. I like really dislike sleeping because of the fact that a lot of times like you don't have control over like when you sleep and like when you wake up and shit, and I don't like the feeling of like falling asleep and then waking up and it's a different time of day and like shit like that. It like really bothers me and like fucks with me. I also have like really bad night terrors, but you know, Jackson lore isn't the important part here.
Jackson lecture
Fuck
one.
sleep. Not you, but like the act.
But also fuck sleep because he's kind of tired.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick. Yeah, fuck him too. What?
Is it the date, or is it the like the daytime changing being
It's just,
dark?
like,
Is that the issue,
so-
or is it the fact that like
You know how, like-
experience that has to deal with the nightmares?
I'm gonna liken this to something that happened to me. Not something, like it wasn't a bad experience or anything, but like, you know how like when you go under anesthesia, it feels like you're awake, and then you're awake again?
Yes.
Yeah, how it kind of feels like you're like, oh, like it's over.
Just
and,
like a
like,
skip in time.
yeah, and like so much shit has happened in that skip in time, and it's like King Crimson.
Yeah.
King Crimson.
Gotcha.
Scary.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, I don't think I fucking love anesthesia.
no, I hated it.
I could never
I
fall
hated
asleep.
it because I
Gotcha.
got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I was literally sitting there, and the person was talking to me, and I was talking to them back, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden, it was like
Yeah.
I had gauze in my mouth, and I was laying there, and I was like,
It was the same for me.
and then this person walked up to me, and was like, "You're done," and I was like, "What?"
It was the same for me when I went in for my appendicitis, and this was when I was in like 5th grade. So they put the mask on my mouth, and they were like, "It smells like strawberries," and I was like, "Whoa, it kind of does smell like strawberries." And then I was awake, and I had a tube in my mouth, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" I was like just in a different room because I was on the stretcher one moment, and then I was in bed.
But that's what I don't like about it. It's like sleeping in general. Like I don't like the feeling of like the feeling of falling into it, like that void, like encroaching upon you. That's wonderful. I fucking love that. That's comfy. It's like a big ass blanket of love. But like the feeling of like waking up after like being asleep and then being awake again, like that scares me like a lot. Like, and again, it doesn't help that like I have like night terrors, but you know, woohoo, trauma, woo. I have a funny story. I'll talk about it off camera, but I have a funny story. Anyways, but yeah. Hypnosis. Yeah, and also because this song is like heavier in general, like so it's like the offering in that sense too. It's that it's heavier.
They made more songs like The Offering. Yeah.
Yeah. No, literally, dead ass Edward. I'm not even shitting you when I say that the album came out. This song was not released as a single, and this song is the only non-single off the album to hit 1 million plays on Spotify. like it's like I literally saw it and I was like, yep, I knew it. God, I'm stupid.
But I want to listen to songs like The Offering.
Yeah.
Even Sleep Token needs to pay the bills.
Yeah, I guess.
Does it? I mean, like, I'm trying to think because like there's like a million other.
Atlantic has a million plays too.
Does it?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean,
Good.
there's
I
like
like
a
Atlantic.
million other bands that do that sort of music, right?
Yeah, but none of them make money off it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm more saying like if you are a fan of Sleep Token because you like The Offering and that's it, there are like a million other places to go for that sort of music.
Yes.
Yeah.
No? I haven't listened to the song, so I wouldn't know any better.
The way I can describe it is they do it in a way that literally no other band I can think of does it. Maybe like there's bands cropping up now that like I've compared to as like Sleep Token like copy bands like Vancouver's the fuck was it called? Vancouver Sleep Clinic.
Wow.
I think that's
No
what it's
shame.
called. I think whatever. I think that's what it's called. Vancouver Sleep Clinic. They like he is like a one-person band that like does like ambient music and it sounds really similar to some of the Sleep Token stuff, like the softer side of them. And then you have this other band I found called Stone Side, which is like Sleep Token if they were heavier.
Yeah, Vancouver Sleep Clinic.
Yeah, Stone Side, and then Stone Side is also literally it's also two dudes that wear masks.
The gospel of sleep is spreading.
Good.
These are like different churches.
One of us.
Oh my god, yeah, like sleep churches.
Sleep Token
We all
Methodist
just go in
Church.
and just go to bed. that's kind of sick, actually. You just walk into a synagogue and everyone there is just laying down.
Nap time.
Like, yeah,
Nap
it's like
time.
pre-K. But,
Oh, God.
Man, nap time was so scary in kindergarten because they tell you had to go to
Yeah,
bed.
they're like, go to sleep! No, like, it's like...
oh, I didn't have sleep when I was
It's
in
like
kindergarten.
fucking like 1 in
I didn't preschool.
I didn't have sleep time. I had preschool. We didn't sleep in preschool either. I never had that.
Yeah, they made us
I had
sleep in
nap time.
preschool.
I
And then,
never
like,
had
if they
that.
saw us like awake or shit, they'd like yell at us.
Damn.
That's so like weird.
Yeah.
I never had that shit when I was in preschool and kindergarten.
I had a nap time, but like they also put on a movie if you couldn't sleep.
Good.
See, like, why did they do that? They like force you to like go to sleep or something.
Oh man, it's so easy.
And then if you
to
couldn't,
just
it's a
realize-
if you
conspiracy.
couldn't fall asleep
You have to
at like
join
1
us.
p.m., then your ass just had to lay there on the cot and like stare at the ceiling for an hour.
The cot.
I mean, I was in Catholic school, but they were like really, really mean and horrible all the other time, so I wonder why nap time was bad for public school.
Because Jesus rested, or God rested on
Yeah,
the
you have
seventh
to
day, so
worship.
you
Right.
need your rest too.
Got it.
So this this song is heavy as fuck, and there's a part at the end where like it goes from the melodic riff into like a more like a metal riff where it's like it's cool. But this is also a song where Vessel screams.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and like there's the metal riff, and then right before there's like a breakdown, he goes, he says, "And I am almost under." So yeah, he's like, "I am almost under," like he's like falling asleep, it's spooky, and then it's like, like super weird off time breakdown, and then the end is literally a chuggy wuggy, but it's not like a breakdown, it's more like a, it's like a. You guys ever listen to Psychosocial by Slipknot?
Yes.
No.
It's like it's like a thrash riff.
Good song.
Like Lamb of God. Lamb of God, that's a good comparison. Yeah. It's good. It's good. And they put like synths over it. It's good. It's good music. So yeah, that's Hypnosis. The next song, musically I wouldn't call it a sex song, but lyrically,
Sex
yes.
song. Ooh, Godfuckers.
Yeah, Godfuckers. Although this one is more like real people fucker. You remember he's touching water?
He's touching grass.
Touching water.
He's touching seaweed.
He's just deep down there.
Yeah.
Touch kelp.
He's touching kelp. I like that. I'm gonna make a band called Touch Kelp. So yeah, this next song is called Mine.
Good song.
Yeah, again, I don't. This sounds weird, so I don't know whether to interpret it like he's talking to sleep or he's talking to another person. I don't know. But basically, in this one, it's him like kind of like possessing someone and saying like no matter what, I'm keeping you for myself. No one can have you but me. So.
Yo,
This shit is so toxic. Like, what the
Shout out to toxic
Damn.
relationship songs.
That's
called
like-
Mine.
I like the sound of a lot of metal, but shit like that, like men singing about things like that, is like, I'm like, fuck you. Like, I don't want to fucking listen to this.
Well, it's kind of like not really like assume that the other person. It's assume that the other person is like into it in this context though.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's
got
like
it.
it's romantic, but like saying like I'm gonna protect you and keep you safe from everyone, but you're fucking mine. Like
Oh.
yeah, it's kinky.
Okay.
I don't know what. Yeah, as someone who is very familiar with like obsessive relationships and obsessing over people and being obsessive. I'm Vessel, by the way. Anyways.
Vessel Kennies.
Not quite either day or night. So, the opening paragraph for this one says, bless you.
Thank you.
It doesn't say that, but, says, I have waited, paralyzed by my own will, viciously reminding me still. I'm born to believe, and I am certain that you and I are crashing course, driven by a holy force I know you can see. So, I guess in a way he's saying that, like, his obsession is also kind of because of, like, his influence from sleep, and they're being driven by this holy force. And I think what's cool about this one is that his lover in this album, like, his relationship with this other person, they also believe that sleep is real, which is really cool because it's like, whoa, it's like Vessel, like sleep lecture when. Like Vessel can talk to someone about this now, which is really cool, and like that drives them further together in a way. And the chorus is literally just him saying, "You will be mine, yeah, you will be mine," and it's really cool because he sings it like super slow and nice. And then the riff comes in, right? Sound-wise, the song is like really slow pace, but like basically like the main riff of this song is literally like he hits a note and then it's silent. Like he hits a note and it's quiet. He hits a note and it's like dun, dun, but in between like those silent parts, there's like a synth part that plays where it's like it's really cool. Yeah, it's like a really unique sounding song. It's like if like pop rock meant progressive metal. It's really weird, but it's cool. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool like synth parts and like there's some like electronic drums in that second half. And then there's another chorus and there's like background vocals and shit. And the end is like it's the same like riff but played like it's different notes played. But what's really cool is like they produced this so well. By the way, shout out to George Lever, the guy that produced this album, and I think he produced Sundowning. I love you. George Lever produced this album, and he does a really good job at making the guitar tone to where it's super deep and super, like, absolutely crushingly heavy, but at the same time it's melodic and it keeps that poppy style, and you can actually tell the difference between the notes instead of it all just being like just brown notes and shit. Like, you can actually, it's a really well produced album. It's fucking fantastic. Anyways, listen to Sleep Token. So yeah, do I need to talk more about this? Yeah, I mean I already explained the concept to you, and yeah, you get the point. It's like a lovey-dovey song talking about like, oh cool, sleep brings us closer together. You're hot, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
He's found a way to bring his real relationship into his demented connection with his god.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. At least she's into it.
According to him.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, there's also a part here where we bring back the Imogen heap shit, and he has the vocoder shit, and he says, "Did you not say we were made for each other?" So I guess there's like a part at the end where like the lover's starting to like doubt this and being like, I don't know about this shit. Next up we have my second favorite song on the album. I'd say Atlantic is probably my favorite song on the album right now, but this next song is my second favorite. It's called Like That. This song fucks. Oh my god. So this one kind of starts off and it has like this really like dark vocal lines and super dark melody, and it just sounds like almost evil and foreboding in a way, and it's really like cool. I remember the first time I listened to it, I had to literally replay the beginning several times because the opening vocal melody in this literally makes my brain nut. Like it's so good. He's like trapped under the surface of your words, and it's just so cool. It's sexy. So, where's the fucking lyrics? He says, trapped under the surface of your words, there is a new intention. New whispers that once could not be heard, catching your intention. Wait, talking with braces on your tongue, just to provoke my combat. New weapons to snap those final strings, just to watch me fall back. And I guess, in a way, I think this song is talking about sleep. And this one is another song that kind of talks about how like sleep lures him in with good things and then gives him bad things to like fuck with him and shit. And this one is like kind of like sarcastically looking at sleep and being like, it's kind of like how in Gods, that one part, where he talks about like, do you like watching me suffer? Do you like enjoy this, me doing this shit for your own amusement, kind of thing. The chorus is him just saying, do you like that, over and over again. He doesn't really scream in the song, but there's a lot of parts where he's just angrily whispering in the background with like this kind of like voice effect on, and he's like, do you like that? Do you like that? And it's really like spooky. Anyways, so, and then there's another part here where he says, push down into membranes and layers, creating a slow dissection. I stumble into your tar trap, in addition to your collection. Ooh, that's so sexy, goddamn. Yeah, and then, so basically it kind of continues, so the drums come in, and then, out of fucking nowhere, there's not even like, it's a riff, it's not a breakdown, but this dude hits a note on this guitar, and the tone for the guitar in this song just sounds so good. It's so deep and abyssal in a way that it's abyssal. Abyssal.
I thought you said Absol, like the Pokemon.
Okay, well, it's abyssal then. I've been saying that word a lot recently because that's really the only way I can describe how the fucking guitar sounds.
There's a song halfway through the album about Pokemon.
Fucking Pokemon and token.
Dark normal type.
So,
Common rock.
but I really didn't know how to describe it, so I always say that word, and I've never actually known how to like pronounce it. So okay, abyssal. It's abyssal. So yeah, the riff comes in, and it's literally like, and that's literally the riff. She's like, and it's super fucking heavy. And of course, you have Vessel singing over it, and it's just like, again, the duality between his beautiful, like, soft, romantic vocals over this heavy fucking, like, guitar riff is so weird, but I love it so much. And while of course he's saying, do you like that? Do you like that over again? Like, yes, I do. Duh. And then, so that part plays, that riff slaps. And then the second part is really cool. He says, there's actually two different vocal lines going on in this part. One that's louder and the other one that's like a little bit quieter. The main part, he says, fall into your eyes like a grave, bury me to the sound of your name. Fall into your eyes like a grave, bury me to the sound of your name. And then in the background, while he's singing this part, and it's like quieter, it's just like some like synths in the background, you hear him whispering, and he says, all that is inside, all your anger, all your disgust, all your resentment, all your differences, all your pain. And I guess it's like, he's like compiling everything that's like shitty about his life, and he's like trying to like remember it so that he can like be rid of it in a sense. And then the last like melodic riff part comes, and he just sings the word all your pain over and over again while fall into your eyes like a grave, bury me to the sound of your name is sung in the background. And that part's cool, but then the riff comes back with no vocals over it, and and this part literally is where I blow up my room, and it slaps. It's so good. It's super heavy, super cool. And then the riff goes away, and all instruments are gone, and it's literally just him whispering with that vocal effect over it. He's like, do you like that? Do you like that? Do you like that? Just over and over again. So Vessel's pissed.
Cut. Ready.
Hang on 1 second. Okay. So, yeah, that was like that. Oh, actually, I forgot that we can... Okay, so now, after that song, this is where the three singles play after this. So, we can actually skip over this part and go straight to track number 8, which is called Distraction. Here we go.
How many tracks are on this album?
12. We are at track number 8.
Alright.
Now. Because I already talked about the first 3 songs. Yeah. So okay, Distraction is a sad song. So it starts off with some cool piano part, and then it kind of moves into like the chorus, which is, it's hard to describe what it sounds like. But like, there's drums, there's piano. Actually, the drums don't come until later, but like, it's mostly like a piano song again. And then the drums kind of come in like towards the end of the song. where there's like some really cool like string segments. Yeah, it's just really like it's like a softer, like pretty song basically. This is also the point where like a lot of people are like, oh my god, the album is dropping in quality because there's not a whole lot of heavy left anymore, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. We're dropping deeper into the ocean anyways. It's gonna be quiet if you think about it thematically. But no, you're a metalcore fan. You don't think that deeply, do you? You're just like listening to fucking breakdowns. I'm racist. Fuck metalcore. I'm genreist.
Fuck genres.
Yeah. I like metalcore, so I get the pass to talk about it.
It's got the metalcore pass.
The core pass. Okay, but yeah, so this is like a softer song. Lyrically, we start off the paragraph. It says, "Oh, and I know, I can tell I'm falling further again, but I won't turn away. It's far too late for me." And then the chorus says, says, "'Cause I am broken into fractions, and I am driven to distraction." So, I think this is like him receding from his relationship a little bit, and basically like saying like, okay, like if remember like when The Love You Want happened, something happened between him and this person he's in a relationship with that kind of drove them apart a little bit, and in this song basically it's talking about this again. It's talking about this again, saying that whenever he thinks about, excuse me, whenever he thinks about the pain of like this person like leaving him and being distant from him, I keep burping. Oh my god, sorry. He basically retreats back into his shell, back into his sleep to be with sleep again as like a form of therapy, release, coping. Yes, to cope with this bullshit. So now he is like, oh cool, sleep your sweat. So that's why he is broken into fractions. He's really upset about what's happening, and he says that he's driven to distraction. His distraction is sleep. So, but yeah, he says, "I swear she's not like any other. Something much more than I could ask for." And the phrase "it's too late for me" is repeated like in the background, like throughout this song. And at the end, when the drums come in and like the strings come in and shit, he goes full into the scene. He just repeats the phrase, "It's too late for me. It's too late for me. It's too late for me," over and over again, like saying that there's like no way he can come back from this, and that like this has like mentally destroyed him. It's funny because when the album came out and people were talking about the song, I saw people like on like social media being like, "Is his vessel okay?" Like I fucking wonder. Have you listened to any of their other music, anyways? But yeah, it's too late for him.
Damn.
Yeah. See, it's too. It's
Oh
too
my
late
gosh.
for. Yeah. He just repeats it over and over again. It's too late for him.
It's too late for him.
He just says it a lot. It's too late for him. But so that's Distraction. The next song is a really cool song. This next one's called Descending. So remember Dark Signs? And remember how Dark Signs had like that hip hop beat under it? So we get another one. Woo! Yeah, and this song actually is like Give, where it doesn't have any like guitar parts in it. This one is just full on like R&B song, and it's like a dark R&B song. It's got like super low like electronic kick drums in it and shit. And this one we open up with the words, "Just take it all for nothing again. Create, release. Shit just don't feel the same. I asked and you answered, but you eat your words in frame. At last discover you can't recall my name." So
I noticed he swore again.
He swore again, yeah. He's not angry in this song though, I don't think. He's like, but I just think it's cool when he curses because he doesn't do it everywhere else. He sounds so pure and nice, and he's like, my fucking form is just a wreck beneath them. Or, let's fuck her up. What?
It's also easy for me.
It's also easy for me. Yeah. But so, yeah, I'm not. A lot of these later songs are kind of weird.
Because they've been so normal so far.
Yeah, well, it's a lot more, I guess, like, on the surface to me. It's a lot easier to understand for me because it's all very, like, relationship-based. But this one, the chorus says, "You come crawling back to me, but I'm already underground. And we all know that talk is cheap, so come on and save me now. And you wonder what I believe, but you don't want to be around. So what would you do for me? Yeah, what would you do for me?" I think this is talking about. So remember how like in the previous song he was like mentally broken from his relationship being over. In this one he's more kind of taking a different state. Now he's pissed, and he's like you know, in reality, you know, I'm doing all this stuff for you, and I'm, you know, worshiping you, and I'm like taking care of you, and I'm trying to do all of this for you. What the fuck have you done for me? So now he's like, I'm not talking to you. Just, you know what I mean? Like he's pissed. He's thinking he's getting the short end of the stick, and he's just like not being treated right. So there are like times when he's like wakes up from like the toxic bullshit, and he's like, oh man, these people suck.
Is it clear whether or not this is about sleep or like a real life relationship?
No, honestly, I think a lot of the songs that they talk about, you can kind of interpret it that way. Just it's a lot easier to interpret it, I guess. Like, for this album, in my opinion, is a lot less clear on who he's talking about, especially when he uses like she, her pronouns, because then you know he's definitely not talking about sleep, and it's like, oh, okay, because they explicitly refer to sleep as a he. Like in the interview that we talked about earlier. So, I mean, it might actually just mean nothing, but you know, just little details that are important to me. But so, yeah. I'd say this one is also kind of a sex song. A little bit. It's got that vibe to it. It's just none of them will beat Give. Give is the true sex song, in my opinion. But yeah. So this one is like, he's pissed at his lover, because he's like, what the fuck, like, you're a bitch. And then we have the next song. This next one is, so, remember how, like, occasionally I've been like, okay, they kind of sound like Deftones sometimes? Yeah, this one is, like, just straight up a Deftones song. Like, this song just goes full on into the Deftones influence. Like, the riffs sound very much like a Deftones song. Some of the vocal inflections sound like Deftones, like Chino Marino, a lot, so, just fine. It's a really good song. But so, this one is, like, yeah, this one's kind of weird, because it's not really heavy, but, like, it kind of, yeah, it goes into like these like riffs that are like super melodic and shoegazy and ambient. There's like a little bit of riff at one part, but that's like it. There's also very weirdly, there's a guitar solo in this song, like with like a clean guitar, like out of nowhere, and which they've never done before on any of their other songs, and it's really weird because a lot of their songs, if there is like solos of sorts, it's more like with a piano or a synth or something, and this is with a guitar, and it's like, whoa, like, okay, so it feels more like a rock song than anything. I just realized I said all this and I didn't even say what the song is called.
Yeah, what's the song called, Jackie?
The song is called Telomeres. I should read the you know what telomeres are?
No.
Does anyone know what telomeres are? So telomeres are at the end of, no, just straight up read this. Telomeres are at the end of chromosomes. They get shorter each time a chromosome replicates and are the limiting factor for cell division and therefore an organism's age. So essentially the way that this is like kind of like written is that the song is about like rebirth essentially. I think it's kind of like him like realizing that this partner that he was with is kind of shit. And now he's really giving himself back to sleep again.
Is this still the album with like fish and shit on it?
Yeah, this
So
is the same album.
what's the fish on this one?
No idea.
Oh.
I don't think every song has.
Actually, yeah, I'm lying. Yeah, not every. It's just the singles that have the
Oh,
fish.
yeah, alright.
But I only knew what Alkaline was, so. But yeah, so yeah, Telomeres is kind of like him kind of like rebirthing essentially into sleep, like coming back to sleep and worshiping him again rather than this partner that he had. The opening paragraph says, "You guide me in to safety and silence. As you breathe me out, I drink you in." It's nice. And the chorus says, "We go beyond the farthest reaches where the light bends and wraps beneath us. And I know as you collapse into me, this is the start of something." So yeah, that's like him taking sleep back into him again. And where the light like bends and wraps beneath us and like the farthest reaches, I think is like the ocean metaphor, is that he's going deeper into this. And the light bending and wrapping beneath them is like the light like getting distorted and warped as they go deeper and deeper, and it starts to disappear because they're so deep. So yeah. Rivers and oceans we could beckon. Your eyes and your limbs are instruments to pick apart the distance within. Let the tides carry you back to me. The past, the future, through death, my arms are open.
Okay, so real quick, it does have a fish.
That's an octopus!
That's an octopus.
That's not a fish.
Yeah.
At least
You know
the
why?
post on their Instagram has.
That's
a
my
lyric
fault.
that-
Bro,
The
if
reason why
it's
is 'cause
the
I'm-
ocean, that's a fish.
I'm reading this on Genius, so it has
Yeah.
the album cover
Hell yeah.
rather than, you know, the fish.
Yeah.
So that's my bad.
But they posted a bunch of like cover art
Yeah.
with a lyric for
Yeah.
the song. So
Maybe we should like put that up there and when
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
That's really good cover.
Yeah,
it's
so-
smexy.
Is
yeah.
it, is
Oh,
it
wait, let me
because
show-
octopi have a lot of tentacles?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because the telomere, you said it has
Actually,
something
that
to
almost
do with
looks
like
like a
aging, right? That's
as
why
well.
Maybe.
age,
I don't
because you
know.
lose those.
Maybe, yeah.
Do
So,
you?
like, do octopi age?
I know. I don't know about that, but I know like lobsters are like functionally immortal. They just don't lose any. They just get bigger and bigger.
Okay. I don't fucking know. But yeah. So that's telomeres. The next song. So now we can get to what you were talking about. So this song, whether or not it's the same person as who was talked about before is a different story. But this song is the one that samples that synth line from Jaws, and it's in that the synth line in Jaws, it's slightly different, but it's functionally almost the same line. And in Jaws, it's do 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 do, and in High Water, it's do 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 do. It's a little bit slower and slightly different. But yeah, you can listen to it and be like, yeah, that's Jaws. Like, so a lot of people think that the lyric-wise, that those songs are connected in a sense. The opening paragraph here says, "For the time being, I will still avoid my own questions, and we both bury that history deep. But you know I can hold my breath forever. For the time being, you are still a perfect reminder of what all of these scars on my arms are for, if I can hold myself together." He can't hold himself together.
Damn.
So yeah, and the chorus, oh my god, I fucking love this song. This song, it starts off, literally, it's just vocals and then that synth line that I was talking about. But like, the chorus has like, this thing where basically Bessel just slowly like increases in pitch with each note, and this chorus is, and I choke myself on sacred vapor, like kind of like that, and he does that, and it's really like bouncy sounding. So he says, "I choke myself on sacred vapor, waiting on some holy favor, basking in the solace of regret. It seems my hell is your high water. Wash me clean again before I pull myself beneath the waves." Did I say the name of this song?
No. This isn't telomeres, right?
No, we're
What is
talking about a
this?
different song. This song is called High Water.
Okay.
I need to stop doing that. What the hell? Yeah, this song is called High Water. But yeah,
For this one, almost looks like a goldfish. I'm not sure. No, that's not.
I don't fucking know. That's High Water.
What is it?
I can't really tell what it is.
It looks like a beta. That's not a beta. No,
Let me see.
I'm an idiot.
It's definitely a fish.
Yeah, that's her. It looks like a tadpole.
It could be.
I don't fucking know.
That's not a fish.
I wish I did. But,
Shut the fuck up, you fish. Fucking.
Fish elitist,
You
like-
fish elitist. Thank
fish
you.
fucker.
Fish fucker.
You gotta know to have your preferences.
SMH my head.
SMHing my head.
Yeah.
SMH my.
Tyler has that like one hair. Oh, never mind. It fell down. Yeah. So basically, this one is like about how the relationship between him and that person has collapsed and failed, and it's about him fully like losing his mind over it. So yeah. Basically, yeah, the part where it says, "It seems my hell is your high water," is like, basically like, no matter what, like, his misery, he's always going to be miserable no matter what. And so, and then even if this person leaves him, he's still going to be like devastated. So even when she is happy, he's not going to be no matter what. So, and the important part is when we get to the end, and like I said, this song is generally very like simple. The second chorus brings in like drums and like some other synth kind of stuff. It sounds kind of like the end of a distraction. The end of this song, there's like a heavy ass guitar riff that comes in, very kind of melodic but also just really heavy, kind of like chuggy in a way. And he screams, and halfway through, as the breakdown's going, he screams the words, "I can't hold myself together." And so that's like the part where you know, like, oh, well, he's fucked, I guess. This is like the climax where now, like, he's broken again, like at the end of the last album, basically. So, yeah, that's High Water. Really good. Connected to Jaws in a way because of the synth line, which I think is really cool.
I was looking at the comments for that one, And there's someone who literally just mouths like the fucking synth line. They just go beep bop like it's
For like where? On Instagram?
yeah. I'll show you.
What is the
A little off topic, but.
Where's it? Ba boo da boo boo boo. That's funny as shit. I love that. Alright, folks. We're here at the end of the world. The last track on This Place Will Become Your Tomb and the final song in the current Sleep Token shit. This song is called Missing Limbs. And this song is very different. This song is entirely it's actually something they don't use a lot. It's acoustic guitar and piano and singing, and that's literally it. It's a very soft,
That's
calm
the
song.
cover art for this song.
We'll put it up.
That's not a fish.
That's
That's
some
a
kind of
spider.
like crustacean or
Let me
something.
see.
Yeah, that one's
That's
different.
a
I remember that one.
spider.
Yeah,
It's the alien
it's,
from.
it's a fucking face
Yo,
hugger.
It's the dude.
It's the guy.
Elijah.
Ooh, sick. It looks like a whale skeleton.
That'd be cool.
Everyone came away with a different interpretation.
It's the whale's tomb.
I love Sleep Token.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this song's sad. This is like basically like Vessel's reflection and how he knows that like
Sad sleep tokens.
yeah, wow, yeah. Yeah, positivity doesn't exist here. This is him kind of like reflecting on how the relationship is over and mourning over it, essentially. The opening paragraph here says, "Just let me know if nowadays the outer rounds of heaven don't keep up on the charm offensive anymore, failing to remind you what you're living for. I'd give anything to borrow your indifference. I'd drink you in, to temper your belief in all my promises, to swallow my desire and choke on it." So he's saying that he wishes that he could like forget about his feelings and just move on.
Wait, he was talking about choking on his feelings earlier, right? He said like he wished he...
Yeah, there's a part where he says in Bloodsport, which ironically is also the last song on the last album, and he says I want to be forgiven. I want to choke up chunks of my own sins. Yeah, but in that one he's talking about sleep. In this one he's talking about a real life person. He touched grass.
Damn.
I love that analogy.
He touched kelp. But here the chorus it says, "'Cause it still makes my blood run cold to remember what they did before, the stories that you never told to me." I'm not really sure what they're talking about here, to be honest with you. Like, who is they? I don't know who they is. Maybe he's talking about sleep. Who knows? But apparently there were stories that were never told to him by the significant other, things that were kept hidden from him. Maybe. So yeah, and then. The part that really gets me is the very last chorus. It changes up a little bit. It says, "'Cause it still makes my blood run cold to remember what I did before, the stories that you never told to me. And it still makes my blood run thin to remember what you are to him. And I live like I've got missing limbs for you." So, yeah. I think the analogy here is the missing limbs is like he's saying that like if you had your arms cut off and shit, like that hurts.
Whoa.
So like he's like saying that without them he's literally missing like a physical part of him and it hurts like hell. And it says to remember what you are to him. So he's saying that there is someone who's more important to him that she cares about more than him now, and it's hurting him like there's no tomorrow. So
What if that person is sleep?
what if that person is sleep? We'll never know. I really don't know how to interpret these ones. It's really, really iffy. You probably could interpret it as being sleep, to be honest with you. I don't really think there is a right or wrong here, which is what I really think. I think is really cool about sleep. Like Sleep Token is that you can literally interpret it however you want. Because that's the whole concept of worship. The whole overarching concept about Sleep Token is about worship and obsessing and loving something so much that you will do anything for it or him or her or them or whatever it is that you love so much. You will do anything to keep it in your life and keep your relationship with it. You'll do anything for it. That's the whole concept of worship. Sleep is just, again, a force that kind of amplifies and solidifies that concept into like a concrete like thing, essentially. Yeah, the whole overarching concept is worshiping something. So, yeah, that's the end of This Place Will Become Your Tomb. And that place did become his tomb. The ocean!
And
Ocean Man.
And also, in conclusion, that is the Sleep Token lecture. I don't have anything else to say. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else to say. But other than, please stream Sleep Token. They're so good. Make them popular. Make them make more cool music.
Get them like Disney promo deals.
Get them making more songs like The Offering, guys.
Yes,
Come on.
yes, and no. I want more songs like The Offering, but also more songs like
In general.
in general. Yeah, I don't really care what you make. Just give me music. I love Sleep Token.
One of the things I really like about Sleep Token, it's like an eldritch horror from the perspective of the cult leader. And it's not a story that makes a lot of like narrative sense, but by telling it through this kind of music medium, you really get the depths of the despair and horror that relationship causes.
Yes.
And it really treats it honestly and explores all the different aspects of that relationship and how it bleeds into his life, and it's so cool.
Yes, I agree 100%. It's super, super cool. But yeah, that's Sleep Token, y'all.
Yay!
Woohoo! Woohoo! Shaka.